Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to CIPMAT's demo session. Today, our agenda is to basically give you a kind of demo lecture for the live crash course. Okay, this will give you an idea about how the classes are going to be conducted for the live crash course that we are going to conduct in the next 2 months. And this will be focused mainly on IPMAT 2021, and this will also serve as a demo lecture for our other courses as well. Okay, so the thing that we are going to cover in today's class, according to the various requests that we got from various students, is quadratic equations and expressions. There were some other topics as well. Many people requested me to teach matrices and determinants. Some people told me to teach number theory, binomial theorem, and geometry, and various other concepts. But I took up quadratic equations and expression because okay, okay. Please ensure that you are unmuted. You are muted all throughout the session. Only when you're required to speak, you speak. Otherwise, you don't. Okay. So now, why I took up this chapter, quadratic equations and expressions, is that in class 10 we already have a basic foundation of this chapter, that is quadratic equations and expressions, and this is a very important chapter in class 11 as well as from IPMAT perspective. This is going to build the basics of algebra regarding theory of equations. Okay, so in today's lecture I'm going to cover the very basics of quadratic equations and expressions. Okay, so let's get started, but before we dive into the course, let's have a brief introduction about me, about the course, about CIPMAT. Okay, so this is okay, just hold on a second. I'd like everybody to please unmute yourselves. Okay, so this is the overview for today's lecture. That is, first of all, I will introduce myself, and then after that we will be talking about the live course. Okay, then I'll be giving you some tips which will be really important for you to crack IPMAT. And then we will start off with our agenda, that is introduction to quadratic equations and various other things, along with some practice questions which are really important. Okay, so this is the agenda for today's class. So let's get started. I hope everybody is excited for today's class. Okay, it's going to be a very informative class. It's going to be full of tips and tricks. So please buckle up your seats and let's get started for today's session. First of all, let me introduce about myself. I am currently a MBA student at IIM-Indore. I am basically a IPM fifth year student, so I am in the batch of 2022. I joined IPM in the year 2017, and right now I'm pursuing my last year of IPM. And in the third year, I went for foreign exchange at EM Lyon in France, where I did a specialization in finance. And also, while being at IPM, I have been the coordinator of the Mathematics and Statistics Special Interest Group at IIM Indore. And as a part of the mathematics and special interest group at IIM Indore, I conducted a lot of multiple tutorial sessions for my junior batches. That is when I was in the third year of IPM. And when I was in the second year of IPM, at that time for the junior batches of IPM, I used to conduct tutorial sessions by booking the IIM Indore classrooms. Okay, I'll show you pictures of that too. Okay, and there I taught them topics like linear algebra. There are topics in statistics like hypothesis testing, probability, regression analysis, stochastic calculus, and topics like these. Then apart from that, I am also an international certified mathematics teacher at QMath. and I have the experience of teaching multiple students from Canada and US. And apart from that, I have also interned as an English communication lecturer at Foreign Trade University in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. And of course, in this journey for you guys to be where I am right now, where at IIM-Indore, to be in IPM, I'm going to be your friend in this journey towards cracking IPMAT. And of course, I keep learning from every one of you. So I am a student for life. Let me show you some pictures. You see these first two pictures over here. These pictures are basically classroom pictures of IIM-Indore. And the person who is teaching over there is me. Basically, I conducted tutorial sessions on various subjects for my junior batches. And as you can see, so many people were attending my lectures in IIM-Indore over here whenever I conducted the lectures. Okay, this is one picture at EM Lyon in France when I went for my foreign exchange trip. And this is another picture in Belgium, which I took, when I went for the foreign exchange program. So you can see the wide range of opportunities that you are going to get when you get into this IPM program, of course. So I'm, of course, you see, when a teacher teaches, when there is a professor who is teaching you, at that time, generally you find it very difficult. But I will teach to you as your senior, as your friend. Okay, I will be your IPM senior, basically. Okay, if you join IPM course, at that time you can see me in the IIM-Indore campus itself. We can meet and we can have a good time together there, right? So of course, I will be teaching you as a friend, and I will try to simplify all the concepts which are going to be provided to you guys. All right. So now let me talk about this course. That is the live crash course, which is going to commence from 20th of May, actually. Okay, let me make this small correction over here. It's going to start from 20th of May, 2021. Okay, so this crash course is going to have around 30 live lectures of quantitative ability, which will be delivered mostly by me. And the major topics of IPMAT will be covered in detail, along with all kind of tips and tricks, all kind of questions. So if you are not even a math student, you don't need to worry at all, because we are going to cover everything from right from the scratch. And I'm going to build all the concepts धीरे धीरे एकदम अच्छे से, and you will be finding everything very easy to follow. Okay, so mainly the topics that I will be covering for quantitative ability in the course will be topics like quadratic equations, sequence and series. Then we will be covering logarithms. We will be covering the chapter of matrices and determinants in detail, because a lot of questions have been asked in IPMAT from that chapter. Permutation, combination, and binomial theorem, very important chapters. Probability we will be covering. Number theory is the most important chapter for IPMAT, because from IIM-Indore's perspective, because for number theory, if you see, uh, around 20 questions have been asked in number theory out of the 60 questions of quants in 2019 IPMAT. So you can see the weightage of that topic. That's a very important topic. And along with that, we will be also covering few other chapters like geometry. In geometry, we will be basically mixing up whatever you have learned in till class 10th, that congruency, similarity, and all those things, along with that chapter called solution of triangles or properties of triangles at the end of the trigonometry chapters that you learn. We will be covering trigonometry, the concepts of compound angles, multiple angles, submultiple angles. Everything will be covered in detail in that course. And also we will be covering coordinate geometry. And in coordinate geometry, we will be focusing mainly on the basics of 2D geometry. And then we will be covering straight lines and circles. The conic sections are not a part of IPMAT, but still, the concepts of parabola will be taught to you in this chapter itself. Not today, because today is a very basic lecture. We are going to start off this chapter just, okay? So that would be mainly about this the crash course. Okay, and after the quant section is over, you will be also provided verbal ability as well as logical reasoning. And I would like everyone to keep yourself on mute unless and until you have a point to make. Anyway, we will be also covering lectures on verbal ability. We will be also covering lectures on logical reasoning, and all throughout these lectures, since we are IPM students, since we are most of us are IPM alumni who have already passed out from IIM-Indore. Okay, you will be getting the best from us. You are going to get the best tips and tricks that you can get for cracking the IPMAT, because we have taken the test ourselves, and we follow the test, we know how it is, and we have cracked. So we have done that, and we have been there at IIM-Indore. So we will be the best people to guide you for the things. And of course, all throughout this course, one thing that you are going to get, which you may not get from other courses, is that since we are students of IIM-Indore, okay, we are IPM students, you're going to get all kinds of insider information, like how life is at IIM-Indore, what kind of food joints are there, how you can spend your time over there at IIM-Indore, the various we will be able to motivate you towards coming to IIM-Indore, and all these kind of things, all the informal lectures, all the informal kind of discussions we can all have as a friend to friend conversation in this whole course. Okay, so let's get started and see a little bit about the course. So once you go to our website, www.cipmat.in, okay, there you will see the under the courses curriculum, you can directly purchase this course. Okay, and there you will be having the option to add to cart. You will be making your account, and you can directly purchase this course. So in this course, we will be covering the concepts of quantitative ability. We will be covering concepts of verbal ability, logical reasoning, and of course, bullseye problem solving with tips and tricks for IPM. And apart from that, we also have a PI prep course that is for personal interview. Okay. So that course is going to build you the foundations for, whatever is what the various topics which are asked in the personal interview part at IIM-Indore, not only IIM-Indore but for all the IPMs right now. Okay, so in that course we will be mainly covering concepts related to current affairs. Okay, so everything that you need to know about current affairs will be provided to you in a crisp and a short, concise way, so that you don't have to waste your time to skim all kinds of newspapers and follow the news. If you read our materials, that would be like more than enough for your current affairs, which can be asked in your IPM personal interview. Apart from that, we are going to provide you with materials for static GK. And we will be also telling you about the hot interview questions, like the various questions which are asked to you, like tell me something about yourself. Okay, how shall you start speaking for this? Okay, if I ask you that, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Okay, so for these kind of questions, what should be the body language? How shall you speak in front of the interviewers? Once you enter the interview room, at that time, what are the various etiquettes that you should follow in order to make a good impression on the interview panelists? Okay, all these things we are going to cover in detail for the personal interview prep course. So you can go to our courses curriculum and our website, and you can register for that course as well. And apart from that, for the people who are currently in class 11 and who have currently gone to class 12, okay, we have 1 year and 2 year preparation courses for IPM AT as well. So you can check out our courses on that as well. Okay. All right. Now, IPMAT is what? IPMAT is a aptitude test. And if IPMAT is an aptitude test, then there are certain rules that you need to follow in order to crack an IPMAT, in order to crack an aptitude test. Okay. First thing is that you need to know that this test is absolutely different from what your subjective tests used to be. It is absolutely different from the school examinations. The school examination are mainly based on absolute basis. Okay, but these exams are on relative basis. Here, it's not about getting the full marks. It's about getting more than the others. Okay, if others get if out of 100 the maximum marks that others get is 10 and you get 11, okay, you are first. If you come first, you will be selected. So it works like that on relative basis. So let's go through these points. These are really helpful. If you keep these things in your mind while taking the IPMAT test, okay, it will be really helpful for you. First of all, it is not only a test for intelligence, but also remember that it is a test of intelligence per time. So speed matters as much as accuracy. Okay. You have to ensure that you can do the problems with speed, not only with accuracy, but also with speed. Okay. For that, we are here. We will be telling you all kinds of short tricks. The tips and tricks will be provided to you. Okay. That will help you to crack that will help you to basically solve the questions in much shorter time, in much less time. Then of course conceptual clarity on the topics will be tested, will be making it easier for you during the exams. So many people, what they do is they directly jump into the questions. They directly jump into the questions which are asked in the exam without clearing the basic foundations of those things. Okay, so that is one grave mistake that you cannot do. Okay, conceptual clarity is very, very, very important. Okay, I cannot emphasize that more, but conceptual clarity is very important. Okay, and also it is important to identify the questions that you can solve in the exam. It's not like that you have to solve all the questions in the exam. Okay, you have to identify the questions that you are good at, you can solve at in lesser time. Okay, and you identify them and you attempt them. Okay, that's going to increase your chances of getting selected a lot. Now, how to be good at this? Of course, you can be good at this by simply practicing more and more questions. That's the only funda that I can give you. You practice more and more questions, and that's how you become good at it. Okay, and you do not have to get everything right, but you have to ensure that you leave the significant chunk of examiners behind. Okay, so that is what I was telling you. The exam is on relative basis. Okay, you do not have to get everything right. You do not have to score. You do not have to be the topper. Okay, neither you need to be scoring all 60 out of 60 questions in quants or all 100 questions that are asked in the exam. Okay, you just need to ensure that you score enough to grab a seat at the various IIMs. Okay, and of course it is an objective test. Nobody cares about the method by which you arrive at your answer. Once you arrive at the correct answer, nobody cares about the method. You can use this method, you can use that method. Whatever is the shortest method, that is the best method for objective tests. Okay, so of course the short tips and tricks are going to apply over here. And here, if you are working backwards from the options to get your answers correct, okay, that's nothing to feel guilty about, that you don't know how to solve by the traditional way and you have just solved it from the options. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, this is one of the best things that you can do in your IPMAT test. That is, you can work backwards from the options. Okay. Now, the last thing that I would like to say about cracking IPMAT is that you need to do what you can do and you do not get stuck at any questions. Simply move forward to the next question only if you have time in the end, okay, which mostly you won't. Okay, you revisit that question. Otherwise, do not get stuck in the question. If at the first glance you see that okay, ये तो बहुत difficult है, ये तो शायद मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा, कोई बात नहीं, छोड़ दो, आगे बढ़ जाओ. ठीक है? That is going to be the strategy for this for cracking this IPMAT test. I hope I'm clear to each and every one of you, and these points are going to prove to be helpful for you guys. All right, so here, of course, the PDF material will be provided to you after the class, and you will see, you can click on these links to visit our website. You can check out our courses. Okay, all the links are provided to you over here. Okay, you can simply click on the PDF links and you can visit our visit the various pages. We are also present in various social media handles. You can check out our Instagram page. We have a YouTube channel. This particular video is going to YouTube as well. Okay, and there is we have a LinkedIn profile. You can check our LinkedIn profiles as well. And of course, you can join our WhatsApp IPMAT preparation group. It's absolutely free to join the WhatsApp and Telegram preparation groups. Okay, so you are welcome to join our groups over there as well. All right. So guys, let's start with today's class, that is quadratic equations and expressions. So this particular lecture that I'm going to provide will be at a very basic level, okay, because here all kinds of students are here. People who already know this topic are also here. People who do not know this topic are also here. People who do not have maths at +2 are here. People who are from the PCM background are here. People who are preparing for JEE mains and advanced are also here. So this topic is going to do justice, and it is going to do justice to everyone only when I cover the concepts from very detail, very basics. Okay. But in these very basics also you will see that ऐसा तुम लोगों को लगेगा कि अच्छा ये टॉपिक तो मुझे बहुत अच्छे से आता है, ये बेसिक का क्या ही पढ़ना है, बट आज का लेक्चर पूरा अटेंड करो, देखो. Okay, there will be lots of short tips and tricks related to the very basics of quadratic equations as well, which you are going to use in your exams and you can easily solve a lot of questions. Okay, maybe these certain things I'm going to teach you today are generally skipped by other teachers or other institutions when they cover this concept. So sit tight and watch this lecture very carefully. Okay, and I request everyone to take out your notebooks and make notes. Again, I would like to ask everyone to mute yourselves and listen until you have a point to make. Yeah. Another thing that I would like to say is that you have to make notes for this lecture, because notes are going to be your best friend before the examination. The night before your examinations, no book is going to help you. Okay, neither the videos are going to help you in YouTube or any coaching of any particular course that you have taken. It's your short notes that you make in your notebook that's going to be be of maximum help. Okay, when you the night before the exam, the 2 nights before the exam, and so on. Okay, so I'm telling you, for the whole course that we are going to provide, please ensure that you are making proper notes, and those notes are going to be your best friend. I cannot emphasize that in any more on that, but yes, it's going to be your best friend. So let's start this chapter, quadratic equations and expressions. All right, so first thing, I want to make one thing very clear to everyone, that is this one. Okay, whenever you solve for x square equals to 4, whenever you solve for x square equals to 4, many people simply write x is equals to 2 and you miss the -2. Okay, but the main point is not this one. The main point that I want to say over here is this. Guys, can you tell me what is root 4? It's simply equals to 2. Okay, it's not plus minus 2. Root 4 is not equals to plus minus 2. बहुत लोग ये बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट में गलती कर देते हैं. ठीक है, रूट 4 का वैल्यू सिर्फ 2 होता है, रूट 4 का वैल्यू प्लस माइनस 2 नहीं होता है. लेकिन when you solve for this equation, that is x square equals to 4, at that time it becomes plus minus 2, because you can write x as plus or minus of root 4. Okay, not root 4 and then you write plus minus 2. Okay, it's plus of minus of root 4, hence I get x is equals to plus or minus of 2. This is a very basic concept. However, I would like to draw your attention towards this. Many people यहीं पे गलती कर देते हैं और पूरा क्वेश्चन गलत हो जाता है. ठीक है, √4 का वैल्यू 2 है, √4 का वैल्यू +-2 नहीं है. याद रखना इस चीज को. ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं and let's start this chapter. Now we know that there are various kinds of equations. Okay, जब हम लोग क्लास 6th में थे, 7th में थे, at that time we were introduced to linear equations, जहाँ पे there was only one variable, there is only one variable, and apart from that one variable we had the power of x as just one. Those kind of equations were known as linear equations, and linear equations are of the form ax plus b. Of course, here the leading coefficient should be equals to 0. Why the leading coefficient should be equal to 0? Because if a is equals to 0, it does not become a linear equation. It becomes a constant equation. It becomes a constant, that is 0, right? So linear equations are these. Okay. Then after that, in class 10th, we were introduced to quadratic equation. What are quadratic equation? Any equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Okay, where you have a not equals to 0 are known as quadratic equations. Okay. Uh, Guys, please ensure that you are on mute while the class is going on. Okay. Now, these are quadratic equations where it will be of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Some examples that we can take, like x squared plus 2x plus 3 is equals to 0. This is an example of quadratic equation. X square plus 3 is an example of quadratic equation. Okay, you need not have the middle term over here, that is x का power 1 वाला term हमेशा होने की जरूरत नहीं होता है. If you only have the highest power of x to be 2, okay, it's a quadratic equation. Okay, even x square plus 2x is equals to 0. This is also a quadratic equation. Why is this a quadratic equation again? This is going to be a quadratic equation because uh, the highest power of x is going to be 2. The constant term need not be given to you. Okay. Then we have cubic equations where the degree of the polynomial which is used before equals to 0 is 3. So any cubic equation is of the form ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, where again the leading coefficient, that is a, is not equals to 0. Okay, here what do I mean by leading coefficients and all these things? The leading coefficient is the constant term which is associated with the highest power of x. So here a is the leading coefficient. All these numbers a, b, c, d, and all these things, they are basically they are basically called coefficients. They are real numbers. They can be complex numbers as well. Okay, however, we call a as the leading coefficient. Okay, in all the equations, the coefficient associated with the coefficient which is associated with the highest power of x will be known as the leading coefficient. Will be known as what? The leading coefficient. Similarly, if you have the degree of the equation to be equals to 4, okay, at that time we say that this is a biquadratic equation. In general, now in biquadratic equation, the degree of the equation is equals to what? The degree of the equation is equals to 4. Now, what is a polynomial equation? First of all, you need to know what is a polynomial. Polynomial is any algebraic expression which is of this format. Okay, this is known as a polynomial. Okay, you write it in the form of a0 plus a1x plus a2x squared plus a3x cube and so on. Okay, this will be known as a polynomial. This will be known as a polynomial of degree n. We call this as a polynomial of degree n. Why do we call this as a polynomial of degree n? Because the highest power of x is n, and to ensure that the highest power of x is n, we have to ensure that an is not equals to 0. That is what is mentioned over here. Okay, so this kind of equation is known as a polynomial equations. These are basic things, but we are going to cover what? We are going to cover quadratic equations in today's lecture. Okay, let's get to the next slide. Now, there are generally two kinds of quadratic equations that you can find out. Okay, the first kind of quadratic equation is known as the purely quadratic equation. Okay, in a purely quadratic equation, what happens is that the middle term जो होता है, that is bx वाला term जो होता है in ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, ये जो middle term होता है, ये middle term 0 हो जाता है. Okay, then we call these kind of quadratic equations as purely quadratic. We call these kind of equations as purely quadratic equations. Okay, and if suppose a and b दोनों अगर non-zero है in this particular equation, then we call these kind of equations as affected quadratic equation. Is this relevant for IPMAT? The basics should be clear to you. Is this relevant for IPMAT from the questions perspective? No, generally there is less probability of asking any question from this particular thing. लेकिन पता है क्यों पढ़ाया? इंटरव्यू में जब जाओगे, it is interviewer's favorite to ask you questions directly from the concepts. They will be first of all asking you that, okay, quadratic equations आता है तुम्हें? And you will be like, हाँ, quadratic equations तो मेरा favorite topic है, ये तो सब कुछ आता है मुझे. फिर वो लोग पता है क्या करेगा? अच्छा, तुम्हारा favorite topic है, बहुत बढ़िया. अब बोलो कि adfacted quadratic equation क्या होता है? adfacted quadratic equation, ये तो कभी सुना ही नहीं. Okay, and they will be like, क्या आता है तुम्हें quadratic equation का? ठीक है, so you have to know the basic concepts very well. Okay, I cannot focus enough on these things, but you have to know the basic concepts very well. I don't think that many books tell you about this, that there is something called affected quadratic equation, but of course it is there. You should know it. When you learn quadratic equation, it's not like a very much rocket science or anything कि बहुत difficult concept है, नहीं समझ में नहीं आ रहा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Simply एक term है, पता होना चाहिए. Okay, let's move forward. Now, if you see that if you are considering a polynomial equation, f of x equals to 0, we say that alpha is a root of this equation. If x equals to alpha satisfies the equation f of alpha equals to 0. Okay, इसलिए हम लोग अगर मेरे पास कोई भी पॉलिनोमियल इक्वेशन है f of x equals to 0, यहाँ पे x के जगह पे मान लो मैंने x के जगह पे 2 बैठा दिया, and this also turns out to be equal to 0, then I will say that 2 is a root of this particular polynomial equation. I will say that 2 is a root of this particular quadratic equation. ये होता है definition for roots of any kind of equation. ठीक है, रूट बोल सकते हैं, या फिर इसके लिए एक और टर्म है, वो क्या है? जीरोस. ठीक है, जीरोस ऑफ अ पॉलिनोमियल. क्लास 9 में चिल्ला चिल्ला के बोलते हैं टीचर्स. ठीक है, जीरोस ऑफ अ पॉलिनोमियल. Anyway, after that, if you consider a quadratic equation, just consider this quadratic equation. You have ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. That's a quadratic equation. Okay. Can I go a little bit faster? See, the thing is, here I know that these are basic concepts, okay, but many people do not know what are the various things. Okay, so today's lecture is basically to give you the very much foundation of quadratic equations. Okay, so that's why we are making sure that it's going at a pace which is comfortable to everyone. Okay, but of course I will consider your request. So for a quadratic equation, we have ax square plus bx plus c. मान लो alpha is a root, तो simply x के जगह पे alpha put कर दो. ठीक है, तो a alpha square plus b alpha plus c will be equal to 0. ठीक है, simple है, बहुत simple concept है. अब देखो, now comes the important point. ठीक है, now comes the important point. देखो अभी interesting concepts आएगा. ये सब points जो अभी मैं बोल रहा हूँ, ये सब पॉइंट्स याद रखो आईपीएमएटी के वक्त. ठीक है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है. ठीक है, सबसे पहला चीज, एनी इक्वेशन ऑफ डिग्री n शुड हैव n रूट्स. इट कैन बी रियल, इट कैन बी इमेजिनरी. बाय इमेजिनरी व्हाट आई मीन इज it is a complex number with a non-zero imaginary part. Okay, I think everybody knows what are complex numbers. Any complex numbers can be represented in the form of z is equals to x plus iy. okay, where x is a real number and y is also a real number, and I is defined as iota, which is root over of -1. Okay, so here the roots, it's not necessary that every time the roots have to be within the domain of real numbers. It can be real as well as imaginary. Okay, and by imaginary I mean it's a complex number with a non-zero imaginary part. Okay, basically what is an imaginary part and real part? We refer to this as the real part of z, which is x, and we refer to this as the imaginary part of z, which is y. Okay, and of course अगर यहाँ पे कभी कभी क्वेश्चंस ऐसे पूछ लेते हैं इंटरव्यूअर्स कि मान लो z इज इक्वल्स टू 2 + 3i, अब बोला कि अब बताओ कि यहाँ पे कौन से इमेजिनरी है कौन सा रियल है। अब तुम लोग क्या बताओगे, ठीक है, या फिर मान लो वेरिएबल ले लो ऐसे p + iq फॉर्म, ठीक है, यहाँ पे बोलेगा कि p और q इनमें से बताओ कि कौन सा रियल है और कौन सा इमेजिनरी है। p रियल है कि q रियल है, p इमेजिनरी है कि q इमेजिनरी है। द आंसर इज, बहुत लोग गलती करते हैं, पता है क्या है आंसर, कि दोनों रियल है। ओके, बोथ आर रियल नंबर्स। ओके, so these are certain things. Absolutely. So see, Akanksha has given the answer that q is imaginary. Okay, I hope you are telling that it's imaginary. It's not. Both p and q are real numbers. याद रखना चीज को, ठीक है। जब मैं इस टर्म की बात कर रहा हूं उस वक्त मैं बोलूंगा कि ये इमेजिनरी है, क्यू इमेजिनरी नहीं है, ठीक है। याद रखना, बहुत बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट है। लोगों को लगता है कि कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर आता है मुझे, ये सारा बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स ये तुम लोगों को मतलब जनरली यू मेक मिस्टेक। How is q real? Okay, everybody, one request that you are requested to not give me any direct messages. Okay, so Shomyadev has asked me a question that how is q real? Because you see this example यहाँ पे, what is the value of p? P is 2. And what is the value of q? Q is 3. Can I say that q is 3? 3 is a real number. Is it an imaginary number? No. So this is the definition. याद रखना, ये कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर का डेफिनेशन है जहां पे x और y दोनों रियल नंबर्स है। ओके, ओनली व्हेन आई कंसिडर दिस नंबर iy, ये चीज इमेजिनरी है, दिस इज इमेजिनरी। ओके, y is real. Okay, keep this thing in your mind. I hope everyone's doubt regarding this is clear to everyone. Okay, basic concepts है, बहुत लोग ये चीज नहीं जानते हैं, क्लियर कर लो अभी अभी, ठीक है। चलो अगला पॉइंट की तरफ चलते हैं। बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट्स डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ रिलेटेड टू थ्योरी ऑफ इक्वेशंस। सेकंड थिंग, कभी भी कोई इक्वेशन में if you have surd or imaginary roots, they are always going to occur in pairs, okay, in a polynomial equation with real coefficients. That means अगर कोई इक्वेशन का एक रूट है 2 + 3i, तो उसका दूसरा रूट क्या हो जाएगा 2 - 3i, ठीक है। तो कोई भी ऐसे इक्वेशन मान लो f of x equals to 0, okay, let's say that if f of some p plus iq is equals to 0, okay, that means p plus iq is a root, then from here directly without explicitly mentioning that, I can tell that f of p minus iq is also equals to 0. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. And this thing is not only true for this thing is not only true for p plus iq equals to 0, but this is also true for surds. That is, मान लो तुम्हारे पास एक इक्वेशन है f of x is equals to 0, okay, and if you have something like this, if f of m plus root n is equals to 0, that means m plus root n is a root of the this not only quadratic equation, it can be any equation for that matter. Okay, then without explicitly mentioning, we can assume, in fact यहाँ पे double arrow होना चाहिए क्योंकि this implies that and that implies that. this. Okay, so f of m minus root n is equal to 0. ठीक है, इस चीज को याद रखना. ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, दिस कॉन्सेप्ट इज नोन एज कॉन्जुगेट रूट्स का कॉन्सेप्ट. ओके, this concept is known as the concept of conjugate roots. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Okay, very basic things. Okay, many people think that this only works for quadratic equations. नहीं, कोई भी इक्वेशन के लिए काम करता है, कोई भी डिग्री का इक्वेशन के लिए काम करता है. इस ये वाला चीज, कॉन्जुगेट रूट्स वाला कॉन्सेप्ट कोई भी इक्वेशन के लिए काम करता है, याद रखना. नॉट ओनली फॉर क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन. ठीक है, क्यूबिक के लिए भी काम करेगा. अब बोलोगे कि क्यूबिक के लिए मान लो एक p प्लस आई क्यू है, एक p माइनस आई क्यू है, लेकिन क्यूबिक में मुझे पता है अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग दैट क्यूबिक का तो तीन रूट्स होता है, तो ये कैसे होगा, राइट? So the thing is, of course, there will be three roots for a cubic equation. Okay, एक मान लो p plus iq है, दूसरा कुछ और है, 1 है मान लो. ठीक है, तो तीसरा, सिंस एक मेरा p plus iq है, जो तीसरा रूट होगा that will be of course p minus iq. ठीक है, याद रखना इस चीज को, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत बेसिक्स है, बहुत लोग इग्नोर कर जाते हैं ये सारे छोटे छोटे टॉपिक्स, छोटे छोटे कॉन्सेप्ट्स. लोगों को लगता है कि सिर्फ ये होता है किसके लिए, क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस के लिए. नहीं, ये सिर्फ क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस के लिए नहीं होता है, ये हर टाइप के इक्वेशंस के लिए होता है. ओके, now the next thing that I would like to discuss over here is that an odd degree equation has at least one real root whose sign is opposite to that of its last term. ठीक है, मान लो एक एग्जाम्पल मान लेते हैं. ठीक है, एक एग्जाम्पल मान लेते हैं कि ऐसा टाइप का एग्जाम्पल ए एक्स क्यूब प्लस बी एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस सी एक्स प्लस डी इज इक्वल्स टू 0. ठीक है, ये क्या है, दिस इज अ क्यूबिक इक्वेशन. क्यूबिक इक्वेशन का डिग्री कितना होता है, डिग्री ऑफ अ क्यूबिक इक्वेशन इज इक्वल्स टू 3. if degree of cubic equation 3 मतलब it satisfies that it's an odd degree equation. ठीक है, तो फिर अगर मान लो कि ये जो लास्ट टर्म है, ठीक है, ये फर्स्ट टर्म ऑफ कोर्स मैं पॉजिटिव बना लूंगा. कोई भी इक्वेशन का ये assumption रहता है कि आई विल ऑलवेज राइट द इक्वेशन इन सच अ वे दैट द फर्स्ट टर्म इज मेड पॉजिटिव. इफ इट इज नेगेटिव देन multiply it with -1 and make it positive accordingly. Okay, and then ये जो लास्ट वाला टर्म है दैट इज द कांस्टेंट टर्म. ओके, दैट इज d. ये d का मान लो d is suppose greater than 0. Okay, then of course there exists, okay, at least one root. There exists at least one root which is real. Okay, which is real, and since this is positive, okay, it is going to be what, negative. क्या ये शॉर्ट ट्रिक तुम लोगों को पता था? अगर पता था तो बहुत बढ़िया, अगर पता नहीं था तो कोई बात नहीं. ठीक है, okay, so that's a point that I will try to ensure that it's addressed in the chat box. I got that white background से black कर देने में it's better for you guys. If it is that, it's okay. But one more thing that I would like to ask you to do is that there is a thing that you can do in your laptop or in your phone, is that reading mode होता है, एक reading mode होता है, वो reading mode on कर लो. Okay, that will ensure that it does not put pressure on your eyes. Okay, and the white glaring screen won't be that much harmful. Okay, so just ensure that your reading mode is on, and that should be okay. Yeah, I'll just repeat this trick over here. देखो, मान लो तुम्हारे पास कोई ऑड डिग्री इक्वेशन है, बहुत ध्यान से सुनना. मान लो तुम्हारे पास एक ऑड डिग्री इक्वेशन है, ए एक्स क्यूब प्लस बी एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस सी एक्स प्लस डी. ये क्यूबिक इक्वेशन है जिसका डिग्री है 3, विच इज अ ऑड डिग्री इक्वेशन. ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम यहां तक नहीं है. ए का वैल्यू पॉजिटिव है. अगर लास्ट टर्म जो है वो पॉजिटिव है, देन देयर शुड बी एटलीस्ट वन रियल रूट सच दैट दैट रूट इज नेगेटिव। याद रखना इस चीज को, ठीक है। सिमिलरली इसका उल्टा क्या हो जाएगा, मान लो d इज लेस देन जीरो, ठीक है। अगर अगर d इज लेस देन जीरो होता है, देन देयर एग्जिस्ट्स एटलीस्ट वन रियल रूट, then there exists at least one real root, okay, which is positive, which is what, positive। प्रीवियस केस में d का साइन जो था उसका उल्टा साइन हो जाएगा रूट का। याद रखना इस चीज को बिल्कुल अच्छे से, ओके। सो again, let me repeat this point. Any odd degree equation has at least one real root whose sign is opposite to that of its last term, provided that the coefficient of the highest degree term is positive. Okay. Great. I'm glad that you understood, Amlan. Okay. Let's move on to the next point over here. That is every equation of even degree, इसका मतलब उल्टा कर रहा हूँ बेसिकली, है ना। प्रीवियस जो टर्म था ऑड डिग्री के लिए क्या होता था, इवन डिग्री के लिए क्या होगा। एवरी इक्वेशन ऑफ एन इवन डिग्री whose constant term is negative and the coefficient of the highest term is positive, it has at least two real roots, okay, one will be positive, one will be negative। क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस के लिए देखते हैं। मान लो एक एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं, you have ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, ठीक है। दिस इज अ इवन डिग्री इक्वेशन। इसका अगर यू नो ऑफ कोर्स a इज ग्रेटर देन 0, ये तो मान ही लेंगे यहाँ पे, मतलब बना लेते हैं। अगर तुम नहीं, इफ इट इज नॉट गिवन इन दैट वे, यू मल्टीप्लाई इट विथ -1 एंड यू मेक इट पॉजिटिव, ओके। नाउ इफ द कांस्टेंट टर्म इज नेगेटिव, यहाँ पे दो केस हो सकते हैं, आइदर c का वैल्यू लेस देन 0 हो सकता है या फिर c का वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन 0 हो सकता है। अगर इक्वल टू 0 हुआ तो अलग केस है, ठीक है। सो कांस्टेंट टर्म अगर नेगेटिव है, ओके, देन what will happen that it will have two roots, मान लो the roots are alpha and beta, okay। then if alpha is positive, okay, then beta is going to be negative, or if alpha is negative then beta is going to be positive, ठीक है। याद रखना इसको भी, अगर a greater than 0 हुआ then you have two things, c less than 0 और c greater than 0। अगर इसका उल्टा हुआ तो क्या करेंगे, इसका उल्टा हुआ तो इसका इसका अगर उल्टा हो गया, ठीक है, दैट इज इफ द कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ द लास्ट टर्म इज ग्रेटर देन 0, then in that case anything can happen, I cannot make any kind of conclusions like this। however, if the last term is negative, you can ensure that both alpha, either alpha is greater than 0 and beta is less than 0, or alpha less than 0 beta greater than 0, ठीक है। चलो, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू ईच एंड एवरी वन ऑफ यू। ये सब चीजें याद रखना एग्जाम के वक्त बहुत काम आएगा। दीज आर शॉर्ट टिप्स एंड ट्रिक्स, ओके, जो कि अगर तुम लोगों को वैसे नहीं पता, यू हैव टू डिराइव इट और यू हैव टू थिंक हार्ड अबाउट द क्वेश्चंस, and that's going to waste a lot of time, and that is going to make the difference between you and the people who are going to get selected। if you are if you have to grab a seat at IIM, you have to ensure that you are very much aware of these kind of short tips and tricks, okay। all right, now generally we know that there are two methods to find out a quadratic equation। ये सबको पता रहता है, एक तुम्हारा फैक्टराइजेशन मेथड है, दूसरा है श्रीधराचार्य मेथड या फिर वो क्वाड्रेटिक फॉर्मूला यूज करने वाला मेथड, ठीक है। सबको पता रहता है। जल्दी जल्दी इस चीज को कवर कर देता हूं, ओके। लेट मी कवर दिस कॉन्सेप्ट वेरी फास्ट फॉर एवरीवन, ओके। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, फैक्टराइजेशन मेथड क्या होता है। फैक्टराइजेशन मेथड मतलब basically what is a quadratic equation। on the left hand side you have a quadratic polynomial, right, and we know how to factorize a polynomial, okay। let's say that I am factorizing that polynomial in this format, that is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0। उसको अगर मैं इस फॉर्म में लिख सकता हूँ, that a into some x minus alpha and some x minus beta, then I will say that alpha and beta are going to be the roots of that quadratic equation, okay। Alpha and beta will be the roots of that quadratic equation. For example, if you have to solve this quadratic equation, simply factorize करना रहता है. Factorize हम कर सकते easily. इसको कैसे लिखेंगे? 3x square minus 3x plus x plus 1. Okay, 3x square minus 3x plus x plus 1 equals to 0. अगर ऐसे करेंगे, ठीक है, तो क्या मुझे आंसर मिलने वाला है? नहीं मिलने वाला है, राइट? इसके लिए हम लोग क्या इसके लिए हम लोग क्या देखते हैं? द मेन थिंग्स दैट वी लुक इनटू व्हाइल ensuring that there are roots for this equation. Okay, that those things are, okay, कि d का वैल्यू कितना होता है. d का वैल्यू देखेंगे एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द वैल्यू ऑफ d वी विल ensure that whether it has positive or negative values. Okay, इसका वैल्यू अगर मैं -1 कर देता हूँ तो फिर ये फैक्टराइज हो सकता है आसानी से. ठीक है, यहाँ पे मैं 3x को कॉमन ले लूंगा एंड आई विल हैव x minus 1. यहाँ पे +1 को कॉमन ले लूंगा एंड आई विल हैव x minus 1 एंड दिस विल बी इक्वल्स टू 0. वो प्रीवियस केस क्यों फैक्टराइज नहीं हो रहा था? मे बी आई विल गेट सम कॉम्प्लेक्स रूट्स इन दैट केस. ओके, दैट्स व्हाई. So now you are going to get this as 3x plus 1 into x minus 1 is equals to 0. ठीक है, modulus function का तुम्हारा कोई doubts है तो I will take that up in the last part. Okay, anyway, for this now here 3x plus 1 is equals to 0 ये हो सकता है, या फिर x minus 1 equals to 0 ये हो सकता है, for this to be equal to 0, right? So I will have 3x is equals to -1 or I will have x is equals to -1 by 3. ठीक है, or I can have x is equals to 1. So what are the roots of this particular equation? So if I have the equation as 3x square minus 2x minus 1 is equals to 0, then in that particular case, I will say that the roots of the equation are x is equals to -1 by 3 and x is equals to 1. ठीक है, initially जो मैंने लिखा था for +1, that's not factorizable. So there are certain equations which are not factorizable. Okay, like 3x square minus 2x plus 1. तो उस केस में मैं कैसे निकालूंगा? उस केस में it's recommended that you use the quadratic formula. Okay, what is the quadratic formula? Quadratic formula is this one. That is, whenever you have ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, you can have x is equals to minus b plus minus root over of b square minus 4ac by 2s. सबको पता है, सबको याद है फॉर्मूला. ठीक है, इसको सिखाने का कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन ये फॉर्मूला आया कहाँ से? ठीक है, ये थोड़ा सा हम लोग देख लेते हैं. अगर ये क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन है तो कैन आई अज्यूम दैट a इज नॉट इक्वल्स टू 0? ऑफ कोर्स इट्स अ क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन, तो a विल बी नॉट इक्वल टू 0. ओके, तो ये मेरा अजम्पशन रहेगा. नाउ ये जो इक्वेशन है ax स्क्वायर प्लस bx प्लस c इज इक्वल्स टू 0, इसको मैं इस तरीके से लिख सकता हूँ. लेट्स से c को मैं अदर साइड में ले जाता हूँ एंड I ensure that I divide the whole thing by a. Then will I get something like this? X squared by a plus b upon a times x is equals to minus c upon a. यहाँ तक किसी को कोई डाउट नहीं होना चाहिए. ठीक है, then after that in the next step what I can do is, okay, so this is what I am going to get over here: x square upon a plus b upon a x and then c upon a. So now if I do that, okay, यहाँ पे क्या गलती है? यहाँ पे ax है ना, तो ये कैंसिल हो जाएगा. So I will have x square plus b upon ax is equals to minus c upon a. तो ये हो जाएगा. यहाँ पे गलती तो ये था, किसी ने पॉइंट आउट नहीं किया, कोई बात नहीं. So now the thing is x square प्लस इसको क्या मैं ऐसे लिख सकता हूँ? 2 times b into 2a times x, ऐसे लिख सकता हूँ. And let's say I add b square plus 4a square over here, and let me add a b square plus 4a square on the right hand side as well. Okay, I can of course do that. There is no harm in doing this. Okay, now the next step is, if you look into this particular thing, what is this? Is this of the form a square plus 2 into b into a plus b square, which is what? A plus b whole square. So clearly I can write this as x plus b upon 2a का whole square, and that will be equals to b square minus 4ac upon 4a square. I hope this is clear to everyone. अब अगर मेरे पास कोई इक्वेशन है x स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू a, तो क्या मैं इसको लिख सकता हूँ कि x इज इक्वल्स टू प्लस माइनस ऑफ रूट a? यूजिंग दैट फंडा, can I write that x plus b plus 2a is equals to plus minus of root over of b square minus 4ac upon 4a square? Okay, या फिर x plus b upon 2a is equals to plus minus root over b square minus 4ac upon 2a. तो यहां से मुझे क्या मिल रहा है, x is equals to minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac upon 2a. ठीक है, so this is how the quadratic formula is derived. Somebody is telling that there is no audio. Can others confirm, please, that if the same problem is being faced by other people? Am I audible? Yeah, I am audible. Okay, so Aditi, I would like to say that please ensure that there must be some problem from your side. Okay, so please ensure that your mic and everything is your speakers are working fine. Okay. All right. So this is how you can derive the quadratic formula or the Sridharacharya formula. ठीक है, इस तरीके से हम लोग इसको derive कर सकते हैं, इसमें कोई बड़ी बात है नहीं. ठीक है, चलो बहुत बढ़िया. Let's move forward and understand a few other concepts. अब हम लोग देखते हैं कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एक कॉन्सेप्ट रहता है जिसको बोलते हैं डिस्क्रिमिनेंट. डिस्क्रिमिनेंट क्या होता है? देखो, मैंने अभी निकाला कि x इज इक्वल्स टू माइनस बी प्लस माइनस रूट ओवर ऑफ बी स्क्वायर माइनस 4ac अपॉन 2a. अब देखो, ये रूट के अंदर क्या है? रूट के अंदर बी स्क्वायर माइनस 4ac है. अब इसका जो साइन है, अगर ये पॉजिटिव हुआ तो क्या मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि वो जो रूट ओवर ऑफ दैट थिंग इज गोइंग टू बी पॉजिटिव, बिकॉज रूट ओवर ऑफ एनी पॉजिटिव नंबर इज गोइंग टू बी अ रियल नंबर, but a root over of any negative number is going to be a imaginary number. Okay, रूट ओवर ऑफ एनी दिस थिंग इज इमेजिनरी नंबर. इसको मैंने लिख दिया इमेजिनरी क्योंकि अगर मैं ये चीज लिखता देन मेनी पीपल may have been confused. A set of complex numbers minus the set of real numbers. Okay, so it can be written in that way as well, but you don't need to be confused about that. It's simply imaginary अगर रूट के अंदर नेगेटिव होता है. तो ये जो b square minus 4ac है, this is going to be of certain significance to us. Why? Because that the sign of that is going to determine the nature of the roots. Okay, so what it is basically doing, it's basically discriminating between the various kinds of roots. Discrimination क्या होता है? We learn in Pol Science about discrimination. Discrimination is you're doing vedbhav among various people on the basis of maybe caste, gender, sex, and all those things. However, over here you are doing this vedbhav among what? Among the roots of the equation. Hence you are what? Doing what? Discrimination. और ये डिस्क्रिमिनेशन कौन कर रहा है? ये पर्टिकुलर टर्म कर रहा है बी स्क्वायर माइनस 4ac. इसलिए हम इसको क्या बोलते हैं? इसलिए हम इसको बोलते हैं डिस्क्रिमिनेंट. ठीक है, इसके पीछे का लॉजिक, इसको डिस्क्रिमिनेंट क्यों बोलते हैं, इसका पीछे का लॉजिक ये है. ठीक है, ध्यान रखना. So d is equals to b square minus 4ac and that's called the discriminant. Okay, now the roots of the equation, roots of the quadratic equations are generally real or imaginary on the basis of the values of d. अगर क्या ये imaginary होगा, क्या ये real होगा, क्या ये equal होगा, क्या ये coincident होगा, ठीक है, क्या या फिर क्या ये distinct होगा, ठीक है, ये क्या होने वाला है, ये सब कुछ हम लोग सिर्फ d का वैल्यू से पता लगा सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो चलो इसको थोड़ा और डीप डाइव करते हैं and let's understand this concept a little bit further. Okay, so if you consider a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Okay, let me just explain you the various concepts over here itself. Okay, if you have this thing and you have a b and c over here, to be real numbers, and of course a is not equal to 0, then agar d greater than 0 hua, then I will say that the roots are real and distinct. क्यों? क्योंकि देखो मेरे को पता है कि x का वैल्यू होता है माइनस बी प्लस माइनस रूट ओवर ऑफ बी स्क्वायर माइनस 4ac, बी स्क्वायर माइनस 4ac अपॉन 2a, है ना? तो बेसिकली यहाँ पे मेरा दो रूट्स है, एक अल्फा इज इक्वल्स टू माइनस बी प्लस रूट ओवर ऑफ डी अपॉन 2a, और बीटा इज इक्वल्स टू माइनस बी माइनस रूट ओवर ऑफ डी अपॉन 2a। ये मेरा दो चीज है, ठीक है, अल्फा और बीटा। तो इसका मतलब क्या मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि ये एक अलग वैल्यू है, ये एक अलग वैल्यू है? अगर ये दोनों अलग अलग है तो क्या मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि ये डिस्टिंक्ट भी है? और अगर ये ग्रेटर देन 0 है तो क्या मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि ये दोनों रियल भी है? हाँ बिल्कुल मैं बोल सकता हूँ, ठीक है। सो हेंस इफ d इज ग्रेटर देन 0 then I will say that the roots are real and distinct, ठीक है। all right, so now let's move forward, okay, and तो यहाँ पे देखो of course ये वाला चीज है, that is alpha will be equals to minus b plus root d upon 2a and beta will be equals to minus d minus root d upon 2a, ठीक है। and the roots are alpha and beta जहाँ पे alpha is not equals to beta, of course। now if d is equal to 0 तब क्या होगा? मुझे पता है कि x का वैल्यू होता है माइनस बी प्लस माइनस रूट डी अपॉन 2a। डी का वैल्यू इक्वल टू 0 पुट कर दिया। अगर मैं डी का वैल्यू इक्वल टू 0 पुट कर दिया तो x का वैल्यू क्या बच रहा है? x का वैल्यू बच रहा है माइनस बी अपॉन 2a। हेंस मेरा जो दोनों रूट्स है, अल्फा का वैल्यू भी माइनस बी अपॉन 2a होगा और बीटा का वैल्यू भी क्या हो जाएगा? माइनस बी अपॉन 2a हो जाएगा। तो इसलिए मैं बोलता हूं कि दोनों अल्फा और बीटा इक्वल होगा। एंड आर दे रियल? ऑफ कोर्स दे आर रियल। माइनस बी अपॉन 2a, मेरे को पता है कि b इज रियल नंबर, a is a real number which is not 0, तो of course minus b upon 2a is a real number, ठीक है। तो यहां से मैं बोल सकता हूं कि alpha is equal to beta, the roots are equal and they will be equal to what? minus b upon 2a, ठीक है। ये चीज याद रखना, that is alpha is equals to beta, that is minus b upon 2a, जहां पे a is of course not equal to 0। I hope this is clear to each and every one of you। So yeah, that is what is mentioned over here। जब भी तुम्हारा इक्वेशन d इक्वल्स टू 0 टाइप का होता है, ठीक है, d इक्वल्स टू 0 होता है, एट दैट टाइम इंस्टेड ऑफ, अगर दोनों अल्फा और बीटा इक्वल है, ठीक है, और मुझे पता है कि ये जो ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस सी है, इसको मैं हमेशा इस तरीके से लिख सकता हूँ, ए इंटू एक्स माइनस अल्फा इंटू एक्स माइनस बीटा के फॉर्म में लिख सकता हूँ। अगर अल्फा इक्वल टू बीटा है तो क्या मैं इसको ए इंटू एक्स माइनस अल्फा होल स्क्वायर के फॉर्म में लिख सकता हूँ? लिख सकता हूँ। इसीलिए ये पॉइंट है, दैट इज द इक्वेशन इज ऑफ द फॉर्म a into x minus alpha का whole square is equal to 0. Hence we have alpha is equals to beta is equals to minus b upon 2a, ठीक है। आगे बढ़ते हैं and let's understand the further concepts। अगर d less than 0 हुआ तो क्या होगा? अगर d less than 0 हो गया तो फिर in that case देखो ये जो d है that will be some root over of minus a, इस तरीके से, या फिर कुछ ये तो हम लोगों ने यूज कर लिया है, तो लेट्स से सम रूट ओवर ऑफ माइनस p है, ठीक है, जहां पे p इज ग्रेटर देन 0। क्या मैं बोल सकता हूं? अगर d लेस देन 0 है तो d का वैल्यू, सॉरी रूट d का वैल्यू रूट ओवर ऑफ माइनस p है, ठीक है, ये तो मैं बोल सकता हूं। हेंस कैन आई से दैट माय वैल्यूज ऑफ अल्फा एंड माय वैल्यूज ऑफ बीटा will be of this format। ये रूट ओवर ऑफ माइनस पी को क्या मैं बोल सकता हूँ? आई टाइम्स रूट पी, आई टाइम्स रूट पी, ये भी बोल सकता हूँ। ऑफ कोर्स आई कैन, कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर में आई इज आयोटा, ठीक है। रूट ओवर ऑफ माइनस 2 को मैं ऑफ कोर्स लिख सकता हूँ ना, रूट 2 इंटू रूट ऑफ माइनस 1, हेंस दिस इज रूट 2 आई, दैट इज व्हाट आई हैव रिटन, ओके, आई टाइम्स रूट पी। तो अल्फा का वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगा? माइनस बी प्लस आई टाइम्स रूट पी अपॉन 2a, और ये हो जाएगा माइनस बी माइनस आई टाइम्स रूट पी अपॉन 2a, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे एक i इन्वॉल्व्ड है। अगर ये i इन्वॉल्व्ड है तो क्या मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि ये कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर है जिसका इमेजिनरी पार्ट 0 नहीं है? ऑफ कोर्स है, ठीक है। और देखो ध्यान से देखो, ये माइनस बी अपॉन टू ए हो गया प्लस आई टाइम्स रूट पी अपॉन टू ए हो गया, और दूसरा वाला क्या होगा, माइनस बी अपॉन टू ए माइनस आई टाइम्स रूट पी अपॉन टू ए हो गया। तो देखो क्या मैं इसको इस फॉर्मेट में लिख सकता हूं, दिस इज सम m प्लस आई टाइम्स n एंड दिस इज सम m माइनस आई टाइम्स n। तो इसीलिए हम लोग बोलते हैं कि द रूट्स आर कॉन्जुगेट। अगर एक रूट m प्लस आई एन फॉर्मेट में है, दूसरा रूट विल बी m माइनस आई एन फॉर्मेट में। ये रहा तुम्हारे सामने प्रूफ, ठीक है। आई होप दिस कॉन्सेप्ट इज क्लियर टू ईच एंड एवरी वन ऑफ यू। कोई डाउट है तो पूछ लेना चैट बॉक्स में, या फिर यू रेज योर हैंड एंड यू कैन आस्क योर क्वेश्चंस। ओके, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन। ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज व्हाट इट इज। अब मैं एक और चीज समझाने वाला हूँ, जो कि है रूट, जो कि है अबाउट द ग्राफ्स ऑफ द क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन। एक बेसिक आइडिया दे देता हूँ ग्राफ्स ऑफ क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन के लिए, ठीक है। तो जस्ट होल्ड ऑन अ सेकंड, लेट मी इंसर्ट अ पेज। ओके, सो सी, बहुत लोगों को पता रहेगा कि एक पैराबोला का जनरल इक्वेशन क्या होता है, y स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू 4ax। ये होता है एक पैराबोला का जनरल इक्वेशन, और जनरली उसका इक्वेशन लुक्स समथिंग लाइक दिस, ठीक है ना। पैराबोला इस तरीके से दिखता है, y स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू 4ax। इसी चीज को अगर मैं x स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू 4ay लिख दूं, ठीक है, तो ये जनरली क्या होता है, मान लो यहाँ पे a ग्रेटर देन जीरो है, यहाँ पे भी a ग्रेटर देन जीरो है, तो इस ये जनरली इस तरीके से दिखता है ना, ठीक है। तो कोई भी ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस कोई भी इक्वेशन है, y इज इक्वल्स टू ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस सी, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ पैराबोला, ठीक है। दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ पैराबोला। अब अलग अलग केसेस के लिए थोड़ा सा देखते हैं इस चीज को, कॉन्सेप्ट को अच्छे से समझते हैं, ध्यान से देखना सब लोग, ठीक है। अगर मेरा d ग्रेटर देन जीरो है, तो इसका मतलब क्या है, द रूट्स आर रियल एंड डिस्टिंक्ट, ठीक है। और रूट्स क्या होता है, जहां पे x का वैल्यू, जहां पे y का वैल्यू जीरो होता है, ठीक है। हेंस अगर कोई भी ऐसा ऐसा टाइप का चीज है, तो यहाँ पे y का वैल्यू जीरो है, यहाँ पे y का वैल्यू जीरो है, तो ये अगर अल्फा है, ये अगर बीटा है, तो ये दोनों क्या मैं बोलूंगा, दे आर द रूट्स ऑफ द क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन, ठीक है। तो देखो जब रियल एंड डिस्टिंक्ट होता है, तब दो केसेस हो सकता है, आइदर a ग्रेटर देन जीरो या फिर a लेस देन जीरो। अगर a ग्रेटर देन जीरो होता है, तो इसका ग्राफ बनता है इस तरीके से, ठीक है, जहां पे x एक्सिस को दो जगह पे कट करेगा, एक अल्फा पे एक बीटा पे। ये अगर नहीं होता तो देन दे वोंट बी डिस्टिंक्ट, राइट। okay, they have to cut in two distinct places, that's why they are distinct, hence d greater than 0 के लिए ग्राफ ऐसा दिखता है। अगर a less than 0 है, तो ग्राफ ऐसा दिखेगा, ठीक है। अगर a ग्रेटर देन जीरो है तो अपवर्ड ओपनिंग होगा ग्राफ, अगर a लेस देन जीरो है तो डाउनवर्ड ओपनिंग होता है ग्राफ, ठीक है। सो यहाँ पे भी ये अल्फा हो जाएगा, ये बीटा हो जाएगा। ऑफ कोर्स अल्फा नॉट इक्वल्स टू बीटा ओवर हियर, ऑफ कोर्स यहाँ पे अल्फा नॉट इक्वल्स टू बीटा, ये हमें दिख रहा है, हेंस द रूट्स आर रियल एंड डिस्टिंक्ट। दूसरा केस देखते हैं, जहां पे d इज इक्वल टू जीरो होता है, वहां पे क्या बोलते थे हम लोग कि रूट्स आर रियल and equal to each other, okay, they are real and equal to each other। उस केस में क्या होता है, जब a greater than zero होता है, at that time the graph looks like this। x एक्सिस को जस्ट टच करता है, जस्ट टच करता है और कुछ नहीं, ठीक है। और अगर a लेस देन जीरो होता है, तब क्या होता है कि x एक्सिस को नीचे की तरफ से जस्ट टच करता है इस तरीके से। तो ये हो जाता है, यहाँ पे देखो अल्फा इज इक्वल्स टू बीटा, यहाँ पे अल्फा इज इक्वल्स टू बीटा इन दिस पर्टिकुलर प्लेस, ठीक है। इस तरीके से द ग्राफ्स लुक लाइक। एंड देन व्हेन d इज लेस देन जीरो, व्हेन d इज लेस देन जीरो, उस टाइम पे क्या होता है, जब d लेस देन जीरो होता है, उस टाइम पे द रूट्स आर इमेजिनरी, मतलब कॉम्प्लेक्स है, विदाउट विद अ नॉन जीरो इमेजिनरी पार्ट, ठीक है। दे आर कॉम्प्लेक्स विथ नॉन जीरो इमेजिनरी पार्ट, ठीक है। इस केस में ग्राफ्स कैसे दिखता है, अगर a ग्रेटर देन जीरो हुआ, देन द ग्राफ वुड नॉट टच द x एक्सिस एट ऑल, ओके, ऐसा दिखेगा। व्हेन a इज लेस देन जीरो, नीचे की तरफ खुलेगा, इट विल नॉट टच द x एक्सिस एट ऑल, इट will look like this. Any doubts you have regarding this particular concept? जहाँ पे we have basically ये basic concept है about the graphs of the equation. Okay, there is a separate topic called location of roots. ठीक है, जहाँ पे हम लोग detailed analysis करते हैं on the basis of the graphs. Okay, and a lot of questions are asked on the basis of that particular concept called location of roots, which we are not covering in today's lecture because it's a basic lecture as of now. ठीक है, बट ये वाला कॉन्सेप्ट सबको आना चाहिए. क्या ये सबको आया? Is this clear to every one of you? Okay, so now the next thing we are going to know is that d is greater than 0, then the roots are of course real. Okay, the first parabola roots are of what are you telling? First parabola as in this one, right? So for this one, the roots, I just gave you an example over here that यहाँ पे roots alpha और beta होता है, ठीक है? जहाँ पे x axis को cut करता है, that place, अगर जहाँ पे x axis को cut करता है parabola, those two values of x's are basically known as the roots of the equation. Okay, that is what I meant. I hope it's clear. I hope I can answer you. I have answered your questions. Okay. Anyway, so of course, जब d greater than 0 होता है तब मैं बोलता हूँ कि roots real है. ठीक है, greater than or equal to 0 होता है तब मैं बोलूंगा roots real है. Now they can be real or distinct anything. ठीक है, अगर कहीं पे कोई क्वेश्चन में सिर्फ बोला है कि रियल है, ऐसा नहीं मेंशन किया गया है कि वो रूट्स रियल, वो रूट्स डिस्टिंक्ट है, कि वो रूट्स इक्वल है, ऐसा कुछ भी मेंशन नहीं किया गया है, you are just going to say that d is greater than or equal to 0. I hope this is clear. Okay, now of course देखो, अगर d less than 0 होता है तो रियल रूट्स को वो बाहर फेंक देते हैं, रियल रूट्स नहीं होता है. ठीक है, तो ये होता है तुम्हारा कॉन्सेप्ट. एंड ये जो मैंने बताया, जब d इक्वल टू 0 होता है और जब a ग्रेटर देन 0 होता है, उस केस में क्या होता है, सिर्फ x एक्सिस को छू के वापस आ जाता है ना, सिर्फ x एक्सिस को छू के वापस आ जाता है. हेंस व्हाट हैपेंस इज ये वाला कॉन्सेप्ट कि x एक्सिस को जस्ट छूता है और छू के वापस आ जाता है. सो दिस इज द थिंग. ये सब चीजें याद रखना, अच्छे से याद रखना. ओके, so now let's move forward and understand the further concepts. Let's consider that you have this quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0 such that इस केस में मैं थोड़ा सा चेंज कर दिया. प्रीवियस केस में क्या था, a b और c रियल नंबर था, यहाँ पे मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि दे आर रैशनल नंबर्स. ओके, दे आर रैशनल नंबर्स. a b and c are what? They are rational numbers. Now since a b and c are rational numbers, तो मैं देखूंगा कि क्या होता है. ठीक है, इसके लिए क्या होता है, हम थोड़ा सा इसको एनालाइज करते हैं. Of course, you see, okay, just a second. Yeah, of course, when d is greater than 0 at that and d is a perfect square, तो उस टाइम पे क्या होगा, roots are unequal and rational. मतलब d perfect square का मतलब क्या है कि मेरा जो d है that will be some p square टाइप का, या फिर रूट d will be some ऐसा टाइप का p हो जाएगा. हेंस मेरा x का वैल्यू क्या होगा, माइनस बी प्लस माइनस p अपॉन 2a. यहाँ पे क्या तुम्हें कोई रूट दिख रहा है, कोई रूट नहीं दिख रहा है. अगर रूट नहीं दिख रहा है तो मैं क्या बोलूंगा, दे आर रैशनल. ठीक है, और अगर डी परफेक्ट स्क्वायर नहीं हुआ, अगर डी परफेक्ट स्क्वायर नहीं हुआ, देन आई विल से द रूट्स आर अनइक्वल एंड रैशनल. ठीक है, अब कुछ और कॉन्सेप्ट है. देखो, अगर मान लो इफ यू हैव d1 and d2 are two discriminants of two quadratic equation. ठीक है, if d1 plus d2 is greater than equal to 0, ये अगर दिया हुआ है, then of course at least one of them should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, and if d1 is less than 0, then of course d2 must be greater than 0. ठीक है, सिमिलरली अगर d1 plus d2 लेस देन 0 होगा, उसका उल्टा हो जाएगा. एटलीस्ट वन ऑफ d1 and d2 शुड बी लेस देन और इक्वल टू 0. मतलब अगर एक ग्रेटर देन 0 अगर मेरे को दिया हुआ है, तो मैं दूसरा को मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि वो लेस देन 0 ऑब्वियसली होगा ही होगा. ठीक है, तो ये सारा ये छोटे छोटे ट्रिक्स है जो कि याद रखना चाहिए. ठीक है, while you solve the questions you have to ensure that you remember all these things. Okay, that's going to be really helpful for you guys. All right, now what are the roots under certain conditions? Let's see what some roots under certain conditions. Okay, by the way, guys, I'm going to extend this class till 10 o'clock because, each and every lecture in this course, okay, are going to be of 2 hours. Okay, each and every quants lectures will be of 2 hours, and some lectures may extend to 2.5 hours on the basis of your doubts and all. Okay, so this is how the lectures are going to be conducted. Okay, and today's lecture is going to be extended till 10 o'clock. Okay, so everybody please sit tight till 10 o'clock. तब तक डिनर विनर उसके बाद कर लेना, ठीक है? चलो, कोई बात नहीं. For a quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. अब देखना, ये जो मैं अभी बता रहा हूं, अभी यहां से सब लोग कान खोल के सुन लो, ठीक है? अभी से मैं जितना भी टर्म्स बताने वाला हूं एग्जाम पर्सपेक्टिव से, बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत ही ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक एक पॉइंट को याद रखना, एक एक पॉइंट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, सो रिमेंबर एवरी पॉइंट ऑफ दिस. एक एक पॉइंट को अच्छे से डिस्कस करेंगे और एक एक पॉइंट को याद रखना. अगर एक एक पॉइंट याद है तो बहुत आसानी से तुम्हारा एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हो जाएगा, ठीक है? So this is the most important slide that I can tell of today's lecture. Okay, and ये वाला slide तो तुम्हारे दिमाग में एकदम पूरा अच्छे से घुस जाना चाहिए, ठीक है? चलो, ये वाला slide अच्छे से पढ़ते हैं and let's understand the concept. Does anyone has any doubt? If you saw somebody ask, okay, no problem. We can move forward. Yeah, the first thing is, if I say that b is equal to 0, if I say that b is equals to 0 in that thing, that is ax square plus bx plus c, then I will say that roots are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. Why is that so? Wow. Okay, why is that so? You see over here, I have ax square plus c is equals to 0. अगर b का वैल्यू 0 हो गया तो ऐसा हो गया. तो मतलब ax स्क्वायर को मैं लिख सकता हूँ माइनस सी, या फिर x स्क्वायर को लिख सकता हूँ माइनस सी अपॉन ए, ठीक है? यहाँ पे c का वैल्यू के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा. ओके, बट द रूट्स आर गोइंग टू बी ऑफ ऑपोजिट मैग्नीट्यूड. इसका x का वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगा? x का वैल्यूज हो जाएगा एक बार माइनस ऑफ रूट ओवर ऑफ दिस नंबर, ठीक है? इसका वैल्यू मान लो कुछ अल्फा है, माइनस ऑफ रूट ओवर अल्फा, और एक बार प्लस ऑफ रूट ओवर ऑफ अल्फा, ठीक है? इस तरीके से हो जाएगा. अगर b का वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन 0, b का वैल्यू इक्वल टू 0 है, then the roots are going to be of equal magnitude but they are going to be of opposite sign. सीधा सीधा याद हो जाना चाहिए ये वाला पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट, ठीक है? आगे बढ़ते हैं. अगर c का वैल्यू इक्वल टू 0 है तो वन वैल्यू विल बी 0 एंड द अदर वैल्यू इज गोइंग टू बी माइनस b अपॉन ए. कैसे? ax स्क्वायर प्लस bx विल बी इक्वल टू 0. अगर c का वैल्यू इक्वल टू 0 हो गया तो x को कॉमन ले सकते हैं एंड यू विल हैव ax plus b is equals to 0. Hence I can say that either x is equals to 0 or you will have ax plus b is equals to 0 or x is equals to minus b upon 2a. So देखो, sorry, minus b upon a over here, sorry, minus b upon a, ठीक है? तो एक वैल्यू 0 हो जाएगा और दूसरा वैल्यू माइनस b upon a हो जाएगा, ठीक है? I hope this point is clear. Anybody has any doubts? If you are speaking, if you are not having any point to add, please do not unmute yourself. B, अगर b और c दोनों इक्वल टू 0 हो गया तो बोथ द वैल्यूज आर गोइंग टू बी 0. अगर b और c दोनों इक्वल टू 0 हो गया तो ax स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू 0, तो x का वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगा? 0 हो जाएगा. ठीक है? a का वैल्यू ऑफ कोर्स नॉट इक्वल टू 0. I'm going to remove this person, okay, because you haven't named yourself properly, okay? And okay, if you are not maintaining any decency in the class, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to simply remove you from the class. Okay, what is this? You are naming yourself like Tera Baap. What is this? I don't expect this kind of a thing from you guys. Okay, we are serious about providing you coaching for IPMAT. We are serious about ensuring that you grab a seat at IIM-Indore. We are serious about that. We are serious about providing you services that is going to ensure that you also come to the place where we are right now. So ensure that please you maintain decency in the class. All right. I hope that is clear to each and every one of you. Ria, if you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, please unmute. Okay, let's move forward. You have A equal, if suppose A is equal to C, then the roots are going to be the reciprocal of each other. ये point बहुत लोगों को पता नहीं होता है, ठीक है? अगर A equal to C हो गया, मतलब ये जो पहला लीडिंग कोएफिशिएंट है एंड द कांस्टेंट टर्म है, दोनों इक्वल हो गया, तो जो रूट्स है, ठीक है, अगर इस तरीके का फॉर्म है ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस ए इज इक्वल्स टू जीरो, अगर ऐसा फॉर्मेट में है, तो मेरा जो दो रूट्स होता है ना, अल्फा और बीटा, अल्फा अगर इक्वल्स टू सम पी है, देन बीटा विल बी 1/p. याद रखना, अगर a is equal to c, then the roots are going to be reciprocal of each other. I'm not going to the proof right now. However, this is what happens. If you remember this, a lot of questions will become easier and you will save a lot of time only if you remember these things. Okay, so अगर मान लो ए सी इज लेस देन जीरो, देन द रूट्स आर गोइंग टू बी ऑफ ऑपोजिट साइन. मतलब कि अगर a is greater than zero and c is less than zero, अगर a is greater than zero and c is less than zero, then the roots are going to be of opposite sign. ये एक और केस में हो सकता है, अगर a less than zero and c greater than zero होता है, तब भी मेरा roots are of opposite sign. ये हो सकता है. Okay. Point 2 again, okay, I will explain point 2 again. If c is equals to 0, तो मैं ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0 को क्या लिख सकता हूँ? सिर्फ ax square plus bx is equals to 0 ऐसा लिख सकता हूँ. And can I write this as x multiplied by ax plus b is equals to 0? Now this is only possible if x is equals to 0 or ax plus b is equals to 0. तो either x is equals to 0 या फिर x is equals to minus b upon a. So that's why I have this point. Okay, I hope this answered your question. The PDF will be sent to every one of you in the group, and whenever you join the course, okay, it will be ensured that all these materials are provided to you in a proper PDF format, along with all the annotations that I am doing in the class. Everything will be provided to you in the everything will be provided to you right after the class, so you need not worry about it. And those who are watching on YouTube, to them you can find the PDF in the description box. Okay, it will be provided to you. You can unzip the folder and you can download the PDF file for further reference. Anyway, let's move forward and understand the next concept. अगर मान लो, देखो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये दोनों पॉइंट देखो, अगर a ग्रेटर देन जीरो हुआ, b ग्रेटर देन जीरो हुआ और c भी ग्रेटर देन जीरो हुआ, तीनों चीज पॉजिटिव है, a b और c तीनों पॉजिटिव है, डायरेक्टली मैं क्या कंक्लूड कर सकता हूँ? डायरेक्टली मैं जो चीज कंक्लूड कर सकता हूँ वो है कि दोनों रूट्स आर गोइंग टू बी नेगेटिव, ऑफ कोर्स प्रोवाइडेड दैट द रूट्स आर रियल, दैट इज d इज ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू जीरो. ठीक है. Ria, can you please unmute yourself and ensure that you are kept can you please mute yourself and can ensure that you are kept muted all throughout the class unless and until you have a question. Okay, now seventh point देखो, अगर तीनों less than zero हो गया तो मैं क्या कंक्लूड कर सकता हूँ? तीनों अगर less than zero हो गया तो सबसे पहला चीज जो मेरे दिमाग में आना चाहिए कि रूट्स आर नेगेटिव. ठीक है, तो रूट्स कब नेगेटिव होगा? रूट्स नेगेटिव तब होगा जब इस टाइप का फॉर्मेट में, मान लो 2x स्क्वायर प्लस 3x प्लस 1 इज इक्वल्स टू 0. ठीक है, मान लो ये फॉर्मेट हो गया, तो उस फॉर्मेट में अगर है तो मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि यहाँ पे रूट्स अल्फा विल बी लेस देन 0 एंड बीटा विल बी लेस देन 0. ठीक है, दोनों लेस देन 0 हो जाएगा. ठीक है, याद रखना इस पॉइंट को. अब देखो अगला 2 पॉइंट भी ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर है लेकिन थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है। क्या देखो, ए का साइन सी का साइन सेम है, ए का साइन सी का साइन अगेन सेम है, सिर्फ देखो बी का साइन इज ऑपोजिट टू दैट ऑफ सी। And if you're ensuring that d is greater than or equal to 0, then I can surely say that dono alpha or beta are going to be positive. Dono alpha and beta are going to be what? They are going to be positive. Okay, so I hope you have understood this concept. These are small tricks which you are supposed to remember. And if you remember, these are the direct hits that you are supposed to remember for your exams. ठीक है, ये सारा concepts generally बहुत जगह पे discuss नहीं किया जाता है, ठीक है, but अगर ये सब concepts तुम्हें याद है specifically, okay, that is how you can. Hello guys, sorry, there was a small problem from my side. I apologize for the disruption. I hope I am clear, I am audible to everyone and you can see the screen. Okay. Sorry, there was a problem in internet connection. I have joined with my mobile hotspot right now. So if there is a problem anywhere in the audio, or if there is a problem anywhere in the video, if it's getting stuck or anything, please let me know. Okay, because I don't know, there has been some problem with my Wi-Fi right now at my home. So I hope you understand the constraints that I'm facing. Anyway. Uh, Please confirm that everything's okay. My voice is absolutely audible to you guys. Can I get some yes sirs or no sirs from in the chat box? Great, that's great. Okay, awesome. Let's move forward and understand the further concept. Great. ओके, देखो ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है। अगला पॉइंट जो है ये भी एक ट्रिक है. दिस इज ऑल्सो अ ट्रिक फॉर योर IPMAT. ओके, एंड Ria, all those Ria has sent me a direct message regarding some admission and all. I'm going to address all those questions after the class, so please reserve the questions till the end of the class. Okay. If you have any questions regarding the topics that I'm teaching right now, you can shoot at me right now. Okay, anyway, if the sign of A is equals to sign of B, which is not equals to the sign of C, okay, then the greater root in magnitude is going to be negative. याद रखना, ठीक है? The sign of A is equals to sign of B और sign of C अलग है, ठीक है। मतलब मान लो कि अगर A ग्रेटर देन 0 है, B भी ग्रेटर देन 0 है, लेकिन C लेस देन 0 है, तब मैं बोल सकता हूं कि जो द ग्रेटर रूट इन मैग्नीट्यूड इज गोइंग टू बी नेगेटिव, ठीक है। मान लो दो रूट्स है, मान लो इस टाइप के इक्वेशन में दो रूट्स है, अल्फा और बीटा, ठीक है। अगर मॉड ऑफ अल्फा ग्रेटर देन मॉड ऑफ बीटा हुआ तो मैं बोल सकता हूं कि अल्फा इज लेस देन 0 इन सच अ केस, ठीक है। ये चीज याद रहना चाहिए एग्जाम के वक्त। ओके, ऑलराइट, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड। सिमिलरली मान लो साइन ऑफ बी और सी दोनों सेम है लेकिन साइन ऑफ ए इज डिफरेंट, तब क्या होगा? उस टाइम पे द ग्रेटर रूट इन मैग्नीट्यूड इज गोइंग टू बी पॉजिटिव, जस्ट इसका उल्टा। Okay, you have to do a little bit mehnat for remembering these concepts, but I am assuring you, if you remember these 11 points, okay, life is going to be so much easier for you. Okay, if you remember these 11 points, life is going to be really easy for you, and any questions related to quadratic equations till whatever I have taught will be easily solvable, and you will be able to easily crack the examination, or you will be able to easily crack at least the questions related to this topic. Okay, I hope I'm clear to everyone. As a basic first lecture, these are the short tips and tricks that I can give you for from IPMAT perspective. In this way, I am going to give you this thing. We are going to provide you with tips and tricks for each and every each and every every particular topic we are going to give you these tips and tricks. Sorry for the interruptions, I was looking into the chat box. Yeah, so yeah, of course, in every lecture you're going to get tips and tricks like this. Once you make a proper notes of all the tips and tricks and everything is compiled at one particular place, and of course we are going to provide you all the study materials with all the tips and tricks. Okay, I am 100% sure that you will be able to crack the examination if you take this course. Okay, like 100% sure as in you have to do mehnat from your side as well. Okay, it's not that from our side we will give our 100%. You have to ensure that you also do the mehnat and you grab a seat at IIM. Once you go into IIM, you see your life is going to change a lot. Okay, it's a great campus, and of course it's a great thing you go to IIM. Okay, I do not regret a single day for joining this course at all. Okay, every day I'm grateful that I have joined this IPM course, and I got to learn so much in that IPM course. Okay, all right. Amlan is telling that sorry to interrupt, but tomorrow we Hemslites have examinations, so can you please wrap up the session a bit early? um, okay, I know that it's a subjective test of yours that you have tomorrow. uh, गूगल फॉर्म से होता है, कैम स्कैन करना होता है ना? वो तो कर सकते हो, ओपन बुक है, कोई प्रॉक्टर नहीं कर रहा है, एनसीईआरटी बुक ओपन करके एग्जाम तो दोगे, ठीक है? क्या बात है, थोड़ी देर बैठ जाओ, ठीक है? अभी 15 मिनट से 20 मिनट्स इट विल बी मैक्सिमम एक्सटेंडेड. ओके, विद इन 15-20 मिनट्स वी विल रैप अप द सेशन, सो यू नीड नॉट वरी अबाउट इट. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. फॉर क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन ax स्क्वायर प्लस bx प्लस c, ओके, अगर a प्लस b प्लस c इक्वल टू 0 होता है, ठीक है? बहुत सारे केसेस में, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस में तुम लोगों को ये भी देता है ना. अच्छा, आई यू वांट मी टू रिपीट द लास्ट 2 पॉइंट्स? श्योर, आई विल डू दैट. यू सी ओवर हियर, अगर मान लो द साइन ऑफ ए मतलब क्या है? मतलब कि मान लो a इज ग्रेटर देन 0, ठीक है, b इज ग्रेटर देन 0 एंड c इज लेस देन 0, या फिर a इज लेस देन 0, b इज लेस देन 0 और c इज ग्रेटर देन 0. अगर ये ऐसा टाइप का कहीं पे तुम्हें दिख गया कोई भी कॉन्सेप्ट, ठीक है, मान लो ऐसे टाइप का 2x² प्लस 3x माइनस 1, ठीक है, इक्वल टू 0, ये ऐसा टाइप का तुम्हें कोई क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन दिख गया, a इज ग्रेटर देन 0, b इज ग्रेटर देन 0 एंड c इज लेस देन 0. ओके, तो सबसे पहला चीज जो तुम्हारे दिमाग में आना चाहिए वो है कि अगर इसका 2 रूट्स है अल्फा और बीटा, और मॉड अल्फा इज ग्रेटर देन मॉड बीटा है, तो जो ग्रेटर वाला चीज है दैट शुड बी द नेगेटिव रूट. दैट शुड बी द व्हाट? दैट शुड बी द नेगेटिव रूट. सिमिलरली इसका उल्टा है फॉर पॉइंट नंबर 11. यू कैन रिवाइज द कॉन्सेप्ट accordingly once I send the PDF. Okay, all right. नाउ आफ्टर दिस, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन में तुम लोग का ऐसा दिया जाता है कि इफ a प्लस बी प्लस सी इज इक्वल टू 0, तब देन व्हाट इज दिस ब्ला 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 ब्ला. दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन गिवन टू यू. सपोज उस टाइम पे कोई दिमाग नहीं लगा के तुम्हारे दिमाग में अगर ये आता है कि अगर a प्लस बी प्लस सी ग्रेटर देन 0 है तो उनका 2 रूट्स क्या क्या है, एक 1 हो जाएगा और सेकेंड रूट हो जाएगा c अपॉन a. बस ये ट्रिक याद होना चाहिए, ठीक है? इसको हमें ये बहुत आसानी से हम लोग कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज यू कैन क्लियरली सी दैट you have ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Clearly when you put x is equals to 1, I will have a plus b plus c equals to 0. Hence this is given to us. तो मैं बोल सकता हूं कि of course 1 is a root of the equation. Okay, अब मान लो तुम्हारे जो 2 रूट्स है, ठीक है, वो 2 रूट्स का प्रोडक्ट क्या होता है? प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स अभी मैंने पढ़ाया नहीं, बट प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स इज c अपॉन ए, ये हमें पता है, ठीक है? एक रूट मान लो 1 हो गया तो दूसरा रूट क्या हो जाएगा? दूसरा रूट सिंपली c अपॉन ए हो जाएगा, इसलिए ये पॉइंट हो गया, ठीक है? आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड दिस कॉन्सेप्ट. ओके, सो नाउ लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड एंड अंडरस्टैंड मोर कॉन्सेप्ट्स लाइक दिस. अगर मान लो a इज इक्वल्स टू b इज इक्वल्स टू c इक्वल्स टू 0 हो गया, ठीक है, कहीं पे अगर ऐसा टाइप का तुम्हें मतलब तुम सॉल्व करते करते ऐसा टाइप का आ गया, उस टाइम पे वो जो पार्ट चीज है ax स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस सी, यहाँ पे इक्वल टू 0 वाला तुम छोड़ सकते हो, ठीक है, वो वाला चीज is not an equation at that time. It's not an equation. Okay, अगर कोई भी डिग्री 2 का इक्वेशन मोर देन 2 वैल्यूज ऑफ एक्स से ज्यादा सेटिस्फाई हो गया, तो उस टाइम पे मैं उसको क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन नहीं बोलूंगा. उस टाइम पे मैं क्या बोलूंगा? उस टाइम पे मैं उसको बोलूंगा एक आइडेंटिटी. Why will I say that it is an identity? Because it's going to be satisfied for any real value of x. Okay, तो ये होता है डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ इक्वेशन एंड अ आइडेंटिटी. याद रहना चाहिए, मतलब समझ में आना चाहिए. ठीक है, डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ इक्वेशन एंड एन आइडेंटिटी. नाउ अगर मान लो a इज इक्वल्स टू 1 है और b और c दोनों इंटीजर्स है. ठीक है, a 1 है और b और c दोनों इंटीजर्स है. सो अगर ऐसा टाइप का है, रिया, इट विल बी ग्रेट इफ यू कुड पुट your messages in the for everyone instead of directly sending the messages to me. I think it will be great if you guys can have a conversation in the chat box itself, okay, about those things. Anyway, so now if a is equals to 1 and b and c are they are integers. By z what I mean is integers. बहुत इंस्टीट्यूट्स ना ऐसे ऐसे लिखते हैं a और b belong to I. ठीक है, और इंटीजर्स बोलते हैं. ये I वाला जो चीज है ना, ये इंटीजर नहीं, ऐसे इंटीजर जनरली नहीं होता है. हमेशा इंटीजर है तो ऐसे z से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. इट्स फॉर अ जर्मन वर्ड कॉल्ड ज़ेलान. ओके, इट्स अ जर्मन वर्ड फॉर इंटीजर एंड वी यूज दैट ओनली. ठीक है. बाय द वे, तुम पता है आईपीएम में तुम लोगों को फॉरेन लैंग्वेज भी सिखाया जाता है. फॉरेन लैंग्वेज जैसे कि स्पेनिश, फ्रेंच, जर्मन में से तुम कोई भी एक लैंग्वेज चूज कर सकते हो, पढ़ सकते हो. जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने स्पेनिश चूज किया था. फॉर 2 years आई लर्न स्पेनिश. ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत आता भी है. ठीक है, जब यूरोप गया था एट दैट टाइम आई गॉट अ लॉट ऑफ हेल्प बिकॉज आई न्यू दैट लैंग्वेज. ठीक है, आईपीएम प्रोग्राम ज्वाइन करो, मैं बता रहा हूँ. इट्स ब्रिलियंट. ओके, एनीवे, अगर a इक्वल्स टू 1 है, मान लो एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस 2x प्लस लेट्स से समथिंग 5 में भी. ठीक है, इक्वल्स टू 0. a 1 है, b और c ऐसा है. then the roots of the equation are going to be rational numbers and these roots should be integers. So always remember this. ठीक है, कोई भी equation is of the form, अगर ऐसा है कि ax square, instead of a I have 1, x square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, जहां पे b and c are integers. उस केस में I will say that the roots of the equation are rational numbers. Okay, this is also given, sorry, the roots of the equation are also given to me as rational numbers. So the example that I took, that doesn't hold true. Okay, but if it is also given to you that the roots of the equation are rational numbers, then I will say that the roots must be integers as well. Okay, because you want me to speak in Spanish. Why? Will you understand if I say como te amas? Okay, me amo Sourodeep. I can speak a little bit, but of course, you guys don't understand. It's not relevant for the class today. I will, of course, talk about all these things, all my experiences, all my journeys, and everything related to whatever I have experienced in my last 4 years in IPM at IIM-Indore, and my various foreign trips to Vietnam, to Europe, okay, and the various places that I visit. Okay, everything I will discuss, and I will provide you with a lot of insights. You join the live course and we are going to have around 30 classes with you. Okay, बहुत time मिलेगा, बहुत मस्ती करेंगे, बहुत अच्छे से सीखेंगे, साथ में अच्छे से friends की तरह बातें करेंगे, and everything is going to be chill and all. ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. देखो, अब कुछ IPMAT हिट्स है. Z प्लस जो है, Z प्लस मतलब पॉजिटिव इंटीजर्स होता है. ठीक है, अगर कहीं पे Z प्लस लिखा है तो उसका मतलब Z मतलब इंटीजर्स है. ठीक है, कहीं पे भी अगर Z है, दिस इज बेसिकली द सेट ऑफ इंटीजर्स. पेन इज नॉट वर्किंग. या ओके, Z मतलब सेट ऑफ इंटीजर्स होता है. ठीक है, याद रखना, ये सब चीजें याद रहना चाहिए. Z जैसे सेट ऑफ इंटीजर्स है. अगर Q ऐसे टाइप का लिखा है, ठीक है, दिस इज द सेट ऑफ रैशनल नंबर्स. Okay, this is a set of rational numbers. R लिखा है तो this is a set of real numbers. C इस तरीके से लिखा है तो set of complex numbers. ठीक है, N इस तरीके से लिखा है तो set of natural numbers. W इस तरीके से लिखा है तो set of whole numbers, and it goes on like this. नंबर सिस्टम में ये सारा चीज अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे नंबर थ्योरी का कॉन्सेप्ट्स में. ठीक है, IPMAT हिट्स कुछ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है, याद रखना इस चीज को, बहुत 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 इंपॉर्टेंट है, याद रखना. If an equation has only one change in sign, it has one positive root and no more. What do I mean by that? One change in sign मतलब मान लो x square minus 2x, x square minus 2x plus 1 टाइप का है. ठीक है, देखो एक बार पॉजिटिव से ये नेगेटिव हुआ, पॉजिटिव से नेगेटिव हुआ. ठीक है, और ये नेगेटिव से फिर से ये पॉजिटिव हो गया. सो दिस डजंट होल्ड ट्रू. लेकिन अगर मेरे पास ऐसा है एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस 2x माइनस 3 इज इक्वल्स टू 0, यहाँ पे देखो क्या हो रहा है, पॉजिटिव से एक बार नेगेटिव हुआ लेकिन नेगेटिव से ये नेगेटिव ही रहा. हेंस देयर हैज बीन ओनली वन चेंज इन साइन. अगर ऐसा मेरे को दिख गया देन इट इज गोइंग टू हैव ओनली वन पॉजिटिव रूट एंड द अदर रूट हैज टू बी नेगेटिव. याद रखना. ठीक है, अदर रूट हैज टू बी नेगेटिव. वही तो मैं बता रहा हूं, देखो. सो फर्स्ट पॉइंट वंस अगेन, अगर देयर इज अ वन चेंज इन साइन, मतलब ये वाला एग्जांपल समझो. ठीक है, एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस 2x प्लस 3 वाला एग्जांपल अच्छे से समझो. ठीक है, यू हैव x का कोएफिशिएंट क्या है, 1. 1 इज व्हाट, इट्स अ पॉजिटिव साइन, प्लस 1. देखो प्लस से क्या हो रहा है, ये माइनस हो रहा है ना. सो हेंस देयर इज अ चेंज इन साइन. ये माइनस से क्या हो रहा है, माइनस ही रह रहा है. देयर इज नो चेंज इन साइन. हेंस देयर हैज बीन टोटल हाउ मेनी चेंजेस इन साइन, ओनली वन चेंज इन साइन. इफ देयर इज ओनली वन चेंज इन साइन, उसका मतलब मैं बोल सकता हूं कि इट इज गोइंग टू हैव ओनली वन पॉजिटिव रूट एंड देयर इज गोइंग टू बी नो मोर पॉजिटिव रूट्स फॉर दैट. ओके, remember this concept. Similarly, if all the terms of the equation are going to be positive, the equation involves no odd power of x. Okay, then the roots are going to be complex. मतलब मान लो मेरे पास ऐसा टाइप की इक्वेशन है, ax to the power 4 plus bx square plus c is equals to 0. ठीक है, कोई ऑड पावर दिख रहा है तुम्हें, नहीं ना. ठीक है, और मान लो यहाँ पे a is greater than 0, b is greater than 0 and a is greater than 0, b is greater than 0 and c is also greater than 0 मान लो. ठीक है, तो फिर हम बोल सकता हूं फ्रॉम हियर दैट all the roots are complex. All the roots are what? All the roots are complex in nature. याद रखना, ये सारा चीजें आईपीएमएटी में डायरेक्ट ऑलरेडी पूछा गया है इन सारे कॉन्सेप्ट से, इसीलिए मैं इन सारी चीजों को ले रहा हूं. तो आगे भी पूछा जा सकता है. ठीक है, चलो बहुत बढ़िया. ओके, कॉम्प्लेक्स मतलब विथ नॉन जीरो इमेजिनरी पार्ट, दैट इज व्हाट आई मेंट. ओके, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. लेट्स गो. वैसे देखा जाए तो every number is a complex number. Okay, but here by complex numbers I mean non-zero imaginary part. Okay, Fahim, I don't motivation, general discussion about IPM course, IPM college life, all these things we are going to talk about. You just wait for it. We haven't covered the syllabus, right? And I have been giving you insights about these things, so you need not worry about that. In the last equation, the last point, what is the value of d, तुम पूछ रहे हो, है ना. क्या ये quadratic equation है, आकांक्षा? Is it a quadratic equation? It's a ax to the power 4. Hence, I do not have b square minus 4ac as a discriminant, है ना. It's not a quadratic equation over here. Okay, unless and until you assume that some x will be x square equals to y and do the equation accordingly. You can convert these things into quadratic equations. However, there is no direct discriminant ka value over here. Okay, now कुछ अभी हम लोग क्वेश्चंस करते हैं. ठीक है, देयर आर 5 क्वेश्चन, ज्यादा क्वेश्चन नहीं है, सिर्फ 5 क्वेश्चन है. ये 5 क्वेश्चन अभी हम लोग सॉल्व करते हैं, ठीक है। डायरेक्ट हिट टाइप का क्वेश्चन है, पूछे जा सकते हैं, और ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन है, इजी क्वेश्चंस भी है, हम लोग आसानी से सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। ये वाला क्वेश्चन जैसे दिया है, बोथ द रूट्स ऑफ द गिवन इक्वेशन आर व्हाट, पॉजिटिव, नेगेटिव, रियल और इमेजिनरी। व्हाट कैन आई से अबाउट दिस? Okay, there is nothing given to me about A, B और C. A पॉजिटिव है, B पॉजिटिव है, A क्या है, B क्या है, कुछ नहीं दिया हुआ है। बट मेरे को बोलना है कि इसका रूट्स पॉजिटिव है कि रियल है कि इमेजिनरी है, ठीक है। इसको क्या करेंगे, सीधा सीधा इसको हम लोग सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे, ठीक है। when you simplify this equation when you simplify this equation you will see that you are going to get something of this format, that is 3x square minus, let me check the chat box once. C is real. Yeah, absolutely. You guys are right. Option C is correct. But why is that so? तो अगर इसको थोड़ा एक्सपैंड करोगे, 3x स्क्वायर माइनस 2 टाइम्स a प्लस बी प्लस सी टाइम्स x, ठीक है। एंड the last term is going to be what? Last term is going to be AB plus BC plus CA. AB plus BC plus CA. Yeah. And that is going to be equal to 0. So यहाँ पे अगर मैं discriminant calculate करूँगा, the discriminant is going to be what? The discriminant is going to be this simply 4 times a plus b plus c का whole square minus 3 times ab plus bc plus ca. Okay, and that is going to be the discriminant. Okay, and this discriminant, if you further simplify, okay, if you further simplify this discriminant, you're going to get 4 times a square plus b square plus c square, a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. Okay, and that is going to be, you can further write this, you can further write this thing as 2 times of a minus b का whole square plus you can write this as b minus c का whole square plus c minus a का whole square. Hence देखो, ये कुछ भी टर्म अगर उसका स्क्वायर लेते हैं तो ये पॉजिटिव होता है, ओके। ये भी पॉजिटिव हो सकता है ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 0, ये भी ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 0 ही हो सकता है क्योंकि उसका स्क्वायर ले रहे हैं. Hence my d is what? Greater than or equal to 0. Hence it is what? It's going to be a real number. Okay, all right. So this is how you can do this question. How do you calculate the discriminant in one step? Okay, for that you can directly combine the terms. You can directly combine the terms of this one. Okay, इसका values देखो यहाँ पे क्या क्या values आएगा, ठीक है. x का coefficient क्या होगा? x का coefficient a plus b होगा यहाँ पे. x का coefficient b plus c होगा यहाँ पे. x का coefficient c plus a हो जाएगा यहाँ पे, है ना. तो फिर अगर मुझे पूरा चीज लिखना है, ओके, देन आई कैन क्लियरली गेट दिस थिंग. बहुत आसानी से लिख सकता हूँ. x का कोएफिशिएंट मिल गया, ठीक है. यहाँ पे x स्क्वायर का कोएफिशिएंट 1 मिल गया, यहाँ पे भी 1 मिलेगा, यहाँ पे भी 1 मिलेगा. तीनों को ऐड करेंगे तो 3 मिल जाएगा, ठीक है. और देखिए यहाँ पे ab मिल जाएगा कांस्टेंट टर्म, यहाँ पे bc मिल जाएगा कांस्टेंट टर्म, यहाँ पे ac मिल जाएगा कांस्टेंट टर्म. तीनों को ऐड कर देंगे, ये मिल जाएगा. वहां से आसानी से मैं डिस्क्रिमिनेंट कैलकुलेट कर सकता हूँ. ओके, where did the 3 come from? Because यहाँ पे मेरे को एक x स्क्वायर का टर्म मिलेगा, यहाँ पे एक x स्क्वायर का टर्म मिलेगा, यहाँ पे एक x स्क्वायर का टर्म मिलेगा. तीनों x स्क्वायर का टर्म अगर मैं ऐड करूंगा तो क्या होगा? 3x square, right? So if you simplify this equation, you are going to get out. Since we are running short of time, I'm not discussing all the steps in detail. Okay. Anyway, how about this question? ये क्वेश्चन के लिए मैं क्या बोल सकता हूँ? You have b minus c x square plus c minus a x plus a minus b. क्या मैं यहाँ पे बोल सकता हूँ कि इट्स अ साइक्लिक पैटर्न जो तुम्हें दिख रहा है? साइक्लिक पैटर्न का जो क्वेश्चंस रहता है, ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने का बहुत आसान सा एक तरीका होता है. क्या तरीका होता है? देखो क्लियरली मुझे पता है b माइनस सी b माइनस सी प्लस c माइनस a प्लस a माइनस b, ये क्या हो जाएगा, 0 हो जाएगा। हेंस मैं क्या बोल सकता हूँ कि 1 एक रूट है। क्या कैन आई से दैट वन रूट इज 1। ठीक है, एक रूट हो गया 1, आसानी से बोल सकता हूँ अबाउट दिस। इफ वन रूट इज 1, another thing that I will be able to say is that the roots are equal as well. Okay, the roots are equal as well. Since the roots are equal, I will say that both roots are 1. Okay, both roots are 1, of course. And if both roots are equal to 1, okay, how is it equal to 1? Because you see, if you put x equals to 1 in this equation, okay, if you put x equals to 1 in the equation, what will it be? It will be simply 0. That's why it's 1. And you can clearly see the cyclic pattern. Okay, if you add these terms, b minus c, c minus a minus b, क्या मिलेगा? 0 मिलेगा। Hence, मैं बोल सकता x equals to 1 is a root of the equation. ठीक है? So this is how you can get x equals to 1. Now, if the roots are equal, if the roots are equal, then both the roots are equals to 1. Now, if both the roots are equal to 1, then another thing that I will be able to say is that product of roots क्या होता है? Product of roots is minus c upon a. So minus a minus b upon b minus c. ठीक है? तो 1 is equals to minus of a minus b upon b minus c. तो क्या मैं यहां से बोल सकता हूँ कि b minus c is equals to minus a plus b? तो क्या मैं यहां से ये भी बोल सकता हूँ कि from here I can say that, sorry, it's not minus c upon a, it's plus c upon a, of course. Sorry about that. तो यहाँ से मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि a plus c is equals to 2 times b, है ना? a plus b is equals to 2 times b from here, which is option number a. That is true. ठीक है? अल्फा बीटा वाला पार्ट में अभी तुम लोग को बता देता हूँ। आई डेंट टीच यू दिस कॉन्सेप्ट। अगर तुम्हारे पास कोई भी ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस सी इक्वल्स टू 0 टाइप का कोई भी क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन है, ठीक है, और मान लो इसका रूट्स है अल्फा और बीटा, then there are two things, that is sum of roots, okay, that is equal to alpha plus beta, it is equals to minus b upon 2a. This I am going to discuss in the next lecture of quadratic equation, okay, which will be totally taken up in detail in the live course itself. Okay, sum of roots is alpha plus beta minus b upon 2a, and another thing is that product of roots is alpha beta, which is c upon a. तो यहाँ पे c क्या है ये, b क्या है ये, तो सिंपली हम लोग इन दोनों को डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, है ना? और अल्फा और बीटा दोनों का वैल्यू क्या है, सिंस both of them are equal to 1, so alpha equals to beta equals to 1, hence I'm getting this. Okay, I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Okay, similarly we can have questions like this. Okay, there are 3 more questions I have put which you can practice. Okay, I'm not discussing these questions as of now. Okay, I have put the important links for joining our website over here. Okay, and yeah, that would be it for today's class. Okay, I'm not going to extend this class anymore, it's already 10 o'clock. Okay, so the further questions will be discussed in the live course itself. Okay, and of course we will be doing that. If one root is 1, then it is necessary that the other is 1 also? It's given to you in the question, it's given to you in this particular question that the roots are equal. Okay, you have to read the question carefully. The roots are equal. If I have determined that one root is 1, then the other should be what? Other should be equal to 1. Okay, because it is given in the question. Otherwise, of course, you can't conclude that. Okay, how is the root equal to 1? ये concept कैसे समझ में नहीं आ रहा? चलो देखते हैं, ठीक है? देखो, मेरे पास क्वेश्चन दिया है b माइनस सी एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस क्या दिया हुआ है, c माइनस a इंटू एक्स प्लस a माइनस b इज इक्वल्स टू 0. ठीक है, this is a cyclic pattern, and for any cyclic pattern which has opposite signs, I know that their summation will be equal to 0. Okay, यहाँ पे simply put x equals to 1. if you put x equals to 1, what I'm going to get? B minus C plus C minus A plus A minus B is equals to 0. Hence, I'm going to get what? B minus C plus C minus A plus A minus B is equals to 0. B से B कैंसिल हो गया, C से C कैंसिल हो गया एंड A से A कैंसिल हो गया. दिस नॉट इज इक्वल टू 0. अभी बोल सकते हो कि दिस इज इक्वल टू 0 whenever you put x equals to 1. Okay, hence I can say that x equals to 1 satisfies the equation. X equals to 1 satisfies the equation b minus c x square plus c minus ax plus a minus b is equals to 0. Okay, hence I will say that x equals to 1 is a root of the above equation. Okay. All right, great. So now let's take up some questions. You can put in your all kind of questions, not only related to the class, but anything related to the exam, anything related to how to prepare for the exam. Okay, anything and related to chapters and everything. सब कुछ मैं अभी तुम लोगों को address करता हूँ. So the first thing is that Tanima has asked that solving questions from R.D. Sharma and SND will work. Yes, absolutely. R.D. शर्मा का जो ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस है, ठीक है, यू कैन सॉल्व दोज क्वेश्चंस, दैट विल वर्क. हाउएवर इट विल बी इम्पोर्टेंट, जो हम लोग जो क्वेश्चंस तुम लोग को प्रोवाइड करेंगे, दैट विल बी a little bit higher level than that of R.D. Sharma and R.S. Agarwal and SND. So along with solving the questions of R.D. Sharma, R.S. Agarwal and SND, you can you can do our questions. Okay, and that would ensure that you are good enough and prepared for your IPMAT examination. Okay, I hope I have answered your questions, Tanima. After this, geometry and mensuration is a huge topic. So is it important? ज्योमेट्री एंड मेंसुरेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, ठीक है. इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक, सो यू डोंट नीड टू वरी अबाउट इट. मैं पूरा अच्छे से कवर कर दूंगा, एक एक कॉन्सेप्ट कवर करूंगा ज्योमेट्री का, राइट फ्रॉम कॉन्ग्रुएंसी ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स टू right from congruency of triangles to similarity of triangles, the basic proportionality theorem, Thales theorem, okay, all the theorems related to circles that you have learned, ठीक है, वो सारा कॉन्सेप्ट्स कवर करेंगे. टेंजेंट से रिलेटेड जो कॉन्सेप्ट क्लास 10th में सीखा था वो सब कवर करेंगे. फिर उसके बाद हम लोग प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स, सॉल्यूशन ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स जो क्लास 11th का पार्ट है, ठीक है, साइन रूल, कोसाइन रूल, ठीक है, रिलेटेड जितने भी कॉन्सेप्ट्स है. फिर और कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स रहते हैं जो आईपीएमएटी में पूछे जा सकते हैं. दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सेंट्रॉइड. व्हाट इज द सेंट्रॉइड? व्हाट इज द मीडियन? व्हाट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इन सेंटर, circumcenter, orthocenter, okay, what is Euler's line? All these concepts we will be learning in detail, so don't worry about geometry and mensuration. It's an important topic, you cannot leave that topic. Okay. Amlan is telling that I have left maths after passing 10th. I am really afraid of the sums from class 11th and 12th. What to do about that? What you can do about it is either you can prepare on your own from the books of 11th and 12th. Okay. Otherwise, you can get some guidance, which will be much better. If you get a guidance towards how to, learn those concepts of 11th and 12th, okay, it will be great. Okay. And in our course, of course, all the 11th and 12th वाला जो concepts रहेगा, जैसे कि matrices and determinants, complex numbers, binomial theorem, permutation, combination, ठीक है, ये probability, ये सारा concepts एकदम scratch से मैं पढ़ाऊंगा, and I will go up to very high level, एकदम पूरा detail में सब कुछ पढ़ा दूंगा, ठीक है. And the classes are going to be of 2.5 hours to 3 hours, so you need not worry about it at all. Okay, so 2 hours to 3 hours इसके बीच में होगा, सारा concept अच्छे से clear हो जाएगा. दिन में 2 घंटा तुम बैठ जाओगे मेरे साथ. Okay, everything will be clear to you. Okay, everything I will ensure that you are done. Okay, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस करेंगे क्लासेस में, बहुत सारा होमवर्क मिलेगा तुम लोगों को, प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस मिलेगा। ऑफ कोर्स मैं डांटूंगा नहीं कि होमवर्क क्यों नहीं किया ऐसे टाइप का, लेकिन प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस वगैरह ये सब मिलेगा, ठीक है। तुम लोगों को इनफ प्रैक्टिस मटेरियल्स भी मिलेगा, सब कुछ मिल जाएगा, सो यू नीड नॉट वरी अबाउट इट एट ऑल, ठीक है। व्हाट अबाउट दोज यू हैव ऑलरेडी कोचिंग, जो लोग कोचिंग ले रहे हैं, अगर इफ यू आर सेटिस्फाइड विथ द कोचिंग दैट यू आर टेकिंग, okay, if then of course you can go ahead with them. And another thing is that bahut sara coaching, what they do is they have a perception that IPMAT has the same kind of syllabus, has the same kind of thing as that of CAT or any other BBA entrance examination, okay? That's not the case. In CAT or BBA entrance examination, you won't get any question from the topics like matrices and determinants, okay, higher trigonometry, okay, solution of triangles, higher coordinate geometry, then binomial theorem, okay, and all these things. They won't ask you questions from all these topics, okay. कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर से क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछेगा, और ये लोग पढ़ाते भी नहीं है। हम लोग बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाएंगे ये सारा कॉन्सेप्ट्स, ठीक है। तो बस यही पॉइंट मेरे को बोलना था अबाउट द योर पॉइंट। Akanksha is asking that how much time do we allot to IPMAT preparation every day? It depends on your priority. Okay, if you are taking IPMAT as the course that you want to pursue, IPM as the course that you want to pursue, and you're serious about getting into IPM, okay, then of course I will recommend that you devote maximum of your time towards this particular exam. If you have a handful of examinations and your priority is not IPMAT, then you have to plan it accordingly. Okay, तो ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर मैं नहीं दे सकता अच्छे से, इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर तुम अच्छे से तुम्हारे लिए तुम दे सकते हो, because you know what is the best for you, you know that what you want, you know where you are going, okay, you know that what you want to do in life, you know that whether you are going to take IPM as a career or you are going to take something else as a career. Okay, I remember Akanksha, you have already told me that you are a NEET aspirant as well. Okay, now you have to set your priorities regarding what you want to do, and on the basis of that you have to allocate time. Now suppose that you want to do both of them simultaneously, okay, that is also absolutely possible. Okay, you see that your concepts of mathematics and verbal ability are clear, you're given ample amount of time, at least three hours maybe for mathematics or mathematics and verbal ability. I'm not telling that पूरा mathematics ही करो, but towards IPMAT का preparation दे दो, ठीक है। अगर वो जो 3 घंटा है, आई हैव इंक्लूडेड ऑल दोस थिंग्स कि तुम लोग जाओ, तुम लोग कभी फोन में कोई व्हाट्सएप में टेक्स्ट आ गया, ठीक है, हाँ चलो देखते हैं व्हाट्सएप में टेक्स्ट देखते हैं, टेलीग्राम में टेक्स्ट देखते हैं, चलो एक बार इंस्टा पर स्क्रॉल कर लेते हैं, ठीक है, एक बार फेसबुक स्क्रॉल कर लेते हैं, ये सब कुछ मिला के मैं 3 घंटा बोल रहा हूँ, एनफ, ठीक है। Please tell me the important topics for IPMAT. The most important topics will be from Quants perspective. The most important topic is number theory. And after number theory, then you have to focus on permutations and combinations. You have to focus on geometry, coordinate geometry as well. Okay. And trigonometry is an important topic. And of course your basics of arithmetic, that is wo jo time, speed, distance, percentages, okay, simple interest, compound interest, okay, all those things should be done. Okay, and data interpretation से हर साल 5 क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं, तो वो क्वेश्चन तो करके ही आना है, ठीक है। Chitra is telling that so maths is a bit difficult one for me because I had left maths after class 10th. No worries, we will be covering each and every topic in detail. Okay, Shomudeep is telling important topics. Of course, yeah, I have done that. Tomorrow timing, there is no tomorrow timing for us. You have to, our course is starting from 28th of May. You go to our website, enroll, or you give a call at the numbers which are given to you. Those who are watching in YouTube, you will get the phone numbers in the description box. You can obviously give us a call. You can visit our website, and we will guide you towards how to enroll for the course and how we are going to proceed about this thing. Sorry about that. Fahim, is there any chance of postponing IPMAT? I mean, because of the pandemic. See, the thing is, right now, I was looking at the COVID figures a few days ago, and not a few days ago, yesterday only, and I saw that a lot of states in India, they have already reached a peak. Now, I don't know whether it's a local maxima or a global maxima, that I cannot say. Okay, but peak मिल गया है, and there has been decline in the number of cases in a lot of states, except for, of course, West Bengal, Orissa, and the northeastern states, because हमारे यहाँ पे तो केस कुछ अलग ही है. ठीक है. So I don't know whether your IPMAT is going to get postponed. If it is going to get postponed, it will be on the basis of the spread of the pandemic, and you will be of course informed about it from not only our side but also from IPM office as well. Okay, admissions office as well. YouTube channel is there for CIPMAT. The name of the YouTube channel is CIPMAT Prep. Okay, the name of the channel is CIPMAT Prep. Okay, I have uploaded a few videos right now regarding some of the solutions of IPMAT of previous years. Okay, वो पूरा अभी तक मैंने upload नहीं किया, but it will be done. Okay, I have uploaded around 36 questions till now. Okay, you can refer to the solutions of those things, and this video is of course going to YouTube. Okay. And yeah, so Somadeep, I have mentioned the YouTube channel, and the link is also mentioned. Also, guys, if you have any other questions, please shoot at me. I will be very happy to answer. I will be very happy to answer all of your questions. Any other questions, guys? Great, I can see that people are subscribing for our YouTube channel. That's great. Okay, so it's a request that everyone please go and subscribe our YouTube channel. Okay, all right. So I think that we will wrap up the session over here. Okay, and let me tell you that the classes are going to start from 20th of May. Okay, the classes are going to start from 20th of May. So please go to our website, please visit our website and enroll for the program. Okay, and the timings of the classes will be mostly in the evening from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock for most of the classes. Okay, and the classes timings will be a little bit flexible. Okay, sometimes if possible I can during the weekends maybe we can have classes in the mornings as well. Okay, for quants, and then we will be also covering verbal ability and everything. Okay, there are different other faculty members for verbal ability. There are other faculty members for quants as well. Okay, some topics will be taken up by some other faculty members. Okay, and all of us are basically IPM students. We were IPM. I am currently a IPM student, but all the other faculty of ours are, they're IPM alumni. They have already passed out, and they will be guiding you in all this thing. Okay, and Fahim is asking me about my college life. Of course, it's great. You see, IIM-Indore has got one of the best campuses in India. Okay, अभी मेरा 4.5 साल हो गया है. ठीक है, जब भी मैं acad block जाता हूँ, every time I go up the hill and go to the acad block and I go for I give a walk around the campus. अभी तक 4 साल सेम कैंपस में रहा हूँ, कभी भी दिमाग में ये नहीं आया कि यार वही बोरिंग जगह है, वही सेम जगह है. It's so beautiful, and not only that, there are so many people there. Okay, you are going to get good friends over there. You're going to make good friends over there, and not only that, okay, it's buzzing with activities 24/7. I'm not kidding when I'm saying 24/7. Okay, it's buzzing with activity at 4 a.m. in the morning. It's buzzing with activities at 4 p.m. in the evening as well. Okay, so there are a lot of clubs and committees which will be there who are going to organize a lot of activities for you guys. ठीक है, बहुत सारा मतलब पूरा सुबह से शाम तक तुम लोग का ऐसे एक्टिविटीज वगैरह रहेगा. ठीक है, तुम लोग मतलब रहेगा एज इन दीज आर ऑफ कोर्स नॉट कंपल्सरी थिंग्स. ओके, you can, if you want to participate, go participate. If you don't want to participate, you don't participate. You do whatever you want, of course. So it's great. Okay, the campus life is absolutely great, and the campus parties, of course they are the best. Okay. We have freshers के बाद तुम्हारा डीजे नाइट होता है, बहुत अच्छे अच्छे डीजेस बुलाते हैं, you get to dance and those all proper एक डीजे पार्टी होता है, then you also get proper dinner parties. Okay, and all those things are you know they everything's great, to be honest. Okay. And from my side at least, I don't have too much of complaints regarding the IPM administration. Of course, IPM office sometimes pressure deta hai hame academically. Okay, but that's a part of life, that's a part of IPM curriculum. It is hectic, you have to ensure that you are doing all things in a balanced way. Okay, you are taking care of your academics, you are taking care of your co-curriculars, everything. And of course, the sports facilities that we have an Olympic sized swimming pool over there, we have a huge cricket stadium. I am a part of the IIM-Indore cricket team. I have played multiple tournaments for IIM-Indore, uh, and I have led the team also in one of the tournaments. Okay, we get to go to various other universities like SP Jain in Mumbai and all for playing cricket and other sports. There are fests which are organized, like a third is a fest which is organized. Then there is a fest called Ranbhumi, which is a sports fest where many people they accumulate. There are a lot of things that happens. उस time पे comedy night होता है. राहुल सुब्रमण्यम आया था हमारे campus में a few years ago for Atharv. Okay, for stand up comedy. Okay, then there are various other things. Okay, as Anirban has right now mentioned in the chat box, you see over here, you read it, it's absolutely great. Okay. And I will tell more about IPM ka lifestyle and everything. Okay, once we commence our courses. In our courses, of course, we are going to talk about my experience in IPM. I'm going to talk about all kinds of things which are there, which should be shared with you guys every time. In everyday classes में थोड़ा थोड़ा बातें करेंगे, and these things are going to motivate you. These things are going to make a huge factor. Simply पढ़ते रहेंगे, बैठ के इक्वेशन सॉल्व करते रहेंगे, मैट्रिसेस बनाते रहेंगे, ठीक है, उससे मजा नहीं आएगा. We have to have this kind of discussions. ठीक है, तब तो मजा आएगा ना. Previously I gave another crash course for IPMAT where I most of the classes I had to take from a hostel room at IIM-Indore. Okay, वहाँ पे sometimes my friends used to come to my room. I used to show you guys that okay, ये देखो ये मेरा friends है. Okay, and you see this is my hostel room. So we have conducted informal sessions as well, जहाँ पे I showed them the campus. Zoom session से मैंने campus दिखाया था, मैंने पूरा दिखाया था कि मेरा hostel room कैसे दिखते हैं, मेरा hostel किस तरीके से दिखता है, how people live inside the hostels. Okay, and how the campus life is, सब कुछ मैंने दिखाया था. So right now I'm at home. Okay, I cannot show you that, of course. Okay, anyway, let's see some other questions. What kind of person do you think is the corporate life for? Corporate life is for hustlers. Okay, one word: corporate life is for hustlers. You have to ensure that you are working with integrity. You are working with your personal ethics in your hand. Okay, and you have to be a hard worker, and whatever you are doing, whatever field you are in, whatever services that you're providing to your company from your side at an individual level, you should be passionate about it. Okay, for example, I am teaching right now for this organization. Okay, I am extremely passionate about teaching. Okay, I know that I know that I am passionate about teaching. I am very much, I like teaching. I like interacting with people. Okay, I have conducted a lot of sessions at IIM-Indore. Okay, where my sessions used to be attended by so many students. ऐसा भी हुआ है, ठीक है, जहाँ पे मैंने सेशन बुलाया है and okay, class का capacity है 70 people. There so many people used to come to my class that कभी कभी नीचे बैठना पड़ता था students को, ठीक है, नीचे सीढ़ियों में खिड़कियों में बैठते थे लोग मेरे क्लास अटेंड करने के लिए. Okay, so these are some of the experiences of. Then I went to Vietnam, जहाँ पे मैंने पढ़ाया लोगों को. I interacted with Vietnamese professionals at various ages. Then right now I also have a lot of international students to whom I teach. Canadian students है मेरा कुछ, American students है कुछ. Okay, I teach to them as well. Okay, so of course I'm very passionate about teaching. So just like that, in corporate life as well, whatever you're doing, you need to be passionate about it. Otherwise, it's going to be tiring. It's going to be wearing for you, because life is going to tear you apart if you are not passionate about what you're doing. मान लो तुम्हें finance अच्छा नहीं लगता है और तुम्हें finance का job मिला है, क्या करोगे तुम? एक कंपनी में जाके ना तुम्हारा हालत खराब हो जाएगा. So you have to be passionate about it. So this is the kind of life, kind of person that you need to become for corporate. Okay, even though I am not the best person to answer this, okay, from my whatever small experience that I have, okay, on the basis of that I have given you an answer, because I do not have any experience in corporate. I am telling you this. ठीक है, मुझे नहीं पता corporate में काम करना कैसे होता है, because I am right now IPM student right now, as I am telling you. Okay, but there will be other classes which will be conducted by us, jahan pe you will be given mentoring by various other you will be given mentoring by various other people jo log corporate mein kaam kar chuke hai, okay, who are IIM-Indore alumni. Okay, and you are going to get great insights from them as well. Okay, how many candidates do you think will give IPMAT this year? कल बारिश होगा कि नहीं ये तो मुझे नहीं पता, ठीक है, लेकिन जनरली प्रीवियस ईयर जितना दिया था अभी भी हम लोग उतना ही एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं, अराउंड 30,000 to 35,000. ठीक है, चलो. As you and many of the other faculty members are still studying, how do you balance up studies and your teaching career? Studies जो होता है, see, the studies, it's basically whatever we have in our curriculum, we ensure that whenever we go to our class, okay, we ensure that we learn in the class itself. Okay, and if you listen to the professor properly, okay, you get to learn a lot of things. And after that, okay, you do not need to give too much time towards your academics. Okay, IIM ka syllabus, IIM ka curriculum is made in that way itself. Okay, so there's not a problem. Okay, also it's different for different people. For me it's like that, for other people it can be something as other as well. Okay, is it possible for this year batch to come in Indore after the examination? It is totally dependent on the COVID situation in our country. ठीक है, अगर third wave आ गया, okay, then don't expect that you are going to the campus until January at least, January 2022 at least. Okay, however, if third wave is curved, it's not coming, if suppose, okay, then of course once the number of cases are stabilized, once the curve is flattened, okay, you are going to be called to IIM-Indore, and of course you can enjoy your campus life. Okay, and okay, that's great. So we will be wrapping up our session over here. I hope you had a great time with us. Okay, I want everyone who is watching this session, who has watched this session, okay, सब लोग, अगर तुम्हें अच्छा लगा आज का session, अगर तुम्हें लगा कि you are going to get a value, you are going to get proper value from us, okay, by if you join this course, okay, I recommend every one of you to join the course, because it's absolute value for money. Okay, कोर्स को ज्वाइन करो, बहुत मजा भी आएगा, हम लोग बहुत मस्ती भी करेंगे और साथ में बहुत कुछ सीखेंगे भी. ठीक है, चलो, ऑल द बेस्ट एवरीवन. आई होप एवरीबॉडी हैज एंजॉयड आवर सेशन, एंड that will be it. Okay, one last question that I will take, but yeah, that would be it for today's session.